Good morning, it's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, June 8th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 90. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU head football coach Ed Ogeron joins the show at 7:30, and Nick Underhill calls in at 9:30 to talk Saints. Remember, we also have our OTB mailbag today, so get your questions in, tweet them, ask them in the YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on Cox Sports Television. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Can you feel it, boys? Little to no sleep, but all the happiness in the world. Welcome in. It is Tuesday morning on this super regional week here on Off the Bench after the boys done get it done again yesterday. How about it? LSU baseball keeping us up late, heart pounding, as tense as, I can remember and watching a baseball game. I mean, that is what makes sports. What you experienced late into the night last night is what makes sports so fantastic. Welcome to Off the Bench. T-Bob here. Jake's beside me. We got Mario and Danny behind the glass making it happen. And, just what an unreal night last night was as LSU baseball win its 4th elimination game in a row to go ahead and stamp their ticket to Knoxville. A date with destiny, a date for vengeance. We'll get to it all. Jake, how you feeling this morning?
The best thing about being in the Knoxville Super Regional?
Getting to play Tennessee?
No, the fact that it's East Coast and not West Coast.
Yeah.
Because
that's
a little bit late, but you know what? LSU won, so it makes it all better. And I really don't even know who to start with. And I know we're going to get into it a little bit later on in the show, but there were so many heroes from last night's game. Yep. There were so many guys that stepped up when they had to. And, sometimes they weren't put in the best position. It was backs against the wall type stuff, like Landon Marceau having to come out of the bullpen and pitch 3 innings to get a win. So many performances that we got to talk about today. Yes, we're all tired, but it doesn't matter. The Tigers win. They now get to go to Knoxville, a game that Coach Paul Mainieri, has been circling for a long time, because every time we talk to him, he brings up that Tennessee series that they lost this year.
Yeah, we'll play the clip a bit later, but the Tennessee fans are resuscitating one of our old bits. It had fallen just short of 50,000 views. They are quickly pumping it over 50K. Shout out to Vol Nation getting it done. They think they got a little blood in the water. They're feeling a little fat and cocky. Got Tony Vitello, got a full stadium, right? Feeling all good. But here's the deal. LSU's playing with house money. They're playing free. They're playing wild. They've already so grandly exceeded expectations. I don't know if Tennessee fans would know what this means. From this point on, it's lanyap, boys. And if there's one thing that this team has been really good at, it's doing just exactly what they needed to do in order to survive and advance. We'll talk about it throughout the show today. Like we said, look, if you're watching on YouTube, shout out. Go ahead and hit the like button. That helps us a lot. Share it, whatever you feel inclined. If you're watching on CST, tell your friends. And thank you for watching. Let's go ahead and dive in. Some headlines.
OTV headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys, for those who are born to grill. Visit bbqguys.com to learn more.
We'll jump back to LSU baseball in a minute. I screwed up the order of this. New Orleans Saints news. The Saints bring in Dre Kirkpatrick for a visit. The 9-year NFL vet, longtime cornerback. Obviously, you must remember him from Alabama. Most would. He played in Cincy for a long time, 8 years. 1-year deal with the Cards last year. Now 1-year deal. Not a deal yet with the Saints. He did come to New Orleans. Maybe a potential answer opposite of Marshawn Lattimore for this season.
You got a veteran guy. You got a guy that you kind of know what his limitations are. You know what his strengths are at this point. He is not who he was when he got drafted, but still can give you that savvy veteran presence there in a very young defensive back room.
Okay, now the big one, LSU baseball, dude. LSU 9, Oregon 8. The Tigers come back from an early 5-2 deficit in a game that featured a ton of back and forth. Lead changes abound. A 2-run home run to take the lead here, a 2-run home run to take the lead there, right? An insane balk in the 8th out of nowhere. The mental mind games, the chess that was on display as LSU was faking bunt. Are they going to squeeze? Are they not going to squeeze? He's going to keep throwing to first. I mean, this baseball game had it all. But in the end, the Tigers in Eugene, Oregon, for the 4th game in a row, stave off elimination, win and advance, and now head to Knoxville to take on the Vols in the Super Regional.
And I love that Drew Bianco had a night. Not only did he have a night at the plate, he had a night in the field as well. A lot of people just assumed because he was the coach's son, because he was Mike Bianco's son, that he was going to come in. And he was supposed to come into LSU as a freshman and be a star right from the get-go. And that's just not how it works out for everybody. Now, can you have those guys, your Dylan Cruz, your Trey Morgan? Absolutely. But it's more of how Drew Bianco has kind of had it, right? You're going to have some struggles. You got to figure some things out. But once you're given the opportunity, and this is the most run he's ever gotten, he has showed you why he is at LSU. He showed you why he was a top recruit. I love his mentality. Y'all know me. You know I love grit.
Yep.
This guy has that, and he has talent to go with it, right? I said last night in our group chat, he's Charlie Hustle, but with talent. And when you can put those two things together, it is a perfect baseball player for my mindset. I love it. Glad he had that kind of night that he could kind of show off.
Yeah, you can. This has been a perfect kind of end cap to his career here, as his presence was felt everywhere last night. Like on a night where it felt like Gavin Dugas was for sure going to be your MVP, and you could argue that he would have been. The award did end up falling to Drew Bianco for the combination of at the plate, in the field, even though Dugas as well for the 2nd night in a row. His speed is felt. Beating that throw home to take the lead in the 8th inning. I mean, there's just so many heroic moments to get to. And imagine this, winning the biggest game of the year when arguably your 2 best hitters in Trey Morgan and Dylan Cruz go a combined 1 of 9. But this Tiger team did what they did all year, and they found a way. So we'll break it down a ton coming up at 7:15. LSU's new offensive line coach, Brad Davis. We got some contract details on why Brad left Arkansas for Baton Rouge when so many others had tried to pry him away. And although, partially it's a homecoming and there are other reasons at play, one reason that could not hurt is that it appears that Scott Woodward might have slapped the old golden handcuffs on him, as Coach Davis making $830K per year. He was making $650 at Arkansas. General off the top of the head math says that's like around a 30% increase. Jake, that's pretty nice. That's got to feel pretty good.
Look, as an LSU fan and as someone who played football for LSU, I love that Scott Woodward is our athletic director, because you have a vacancy when it's not a great time. In fact, it's an awful time to have one.
Yeah.
After spring football, right before summer workouts really start, you've got big-time recruits committed at that position, a position where you've struggled to find big-time recruits. And what do? Well, 24 hours later, you get someone that a lot of people think was an upgrade. You get someone who's from Baton Rouge. You know that from day one, he can hit the ground and he knows exactly where to go to hit the recruiting holes in Louisiana. I think it's a home run deal, and I know he has not even probably gotten to Baton Rouge yet, but we can ask. Coach what they needed and what they got is exactly the right thing.
Yeah, we said the other day, I said that there was no way that I would ever paint this as a positive, but look, there's still a lot of hurdles to overcome. Like Jake said, right? He has to get into the recruiting flow with his current class, manage, maintain it. He has to get to know these players that he's going to be coaching and develop relationships very quickly. But just in terms of like what the football minds think about the two coaches, Brad Davis is viewed as a better offensive line coach than Craig was. So maybe this is a weird roundabout positive in the end. And Nick Saban news. Oh, boy. Alabama and Nick Saban have agreed to a deal through the 2029 season. Absolutely disgusting. The Crimson Emperor's reign seemingly has no end. I think he's going to be like 79 by the end of this contract is the number floating around.
Where did y'all think he was going?
Oh, I mean nowhere, but it doesn't make it. This
is what he loves. This is the only thing that I think he loves to do.
Well, I think he loves Miss Terry. I think yes, fair. Well, yes. Continue.
Yeah, so he didn't have hobbies. He doesn't have other activities.
No.
He might play a little golf on the side, but
He takes the boys on the boat every now and
like
then.
he is one of the ultimate competitors. Like we know that, okay? So it doesn't surprise me that he signs a contract extension. I mean, he's going to do it until he just absolutely can't do it.
Yeah, and I don't know when that will be. But did you know Nick Saban only has a $275,000 salary? How about that? And then he gets $8.425 in a talent fee.
Whoa! We need to talk about our talent fees here in Guarantee.
$275K salary, $8.425 million in a talent fee. So under this new deal, that talent fee will increase by unspecified amounts every year. He will also get an $800K contract completion bonus at the end of 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. So basically, sometime the next 2 years, they pay him in a lot of different ways. And this is even taking into like dealerships, the other car stuff he has over there. Basically, sometime the next 2 years, he is going to be the first college coach to break that $10 million a year threshold. Him and Krzyzewski have both made $10 million in a single year, but that was with a signing bonus mixed in. He soon will be making over $10 million annually.
Look, there's some coaches out there that when you say that, I'm like, okay, because of the things that they bring to the program, because of the things that have changed at the university because of that program. And I realize it sounds like a ludicrous amount of money, but if you can justify it by winning games, winning championships, and bringing people to your university.
No, I mean, look, dude, it's really, there's no doubt that it's a good investment. When you look at, just look at the academic standing of Alabama and how it's risen in the Saban tenure, and look at things like out-of-state tuition and whatnot. It's crazy. Also, look at the fact that Alabama's been ranked number 1 in the Associated Press poll for at least 1 week for 13 straight years. So they have now nearly doubled the previous record, which was 7 years by Miami. They have 127 wins over the past decade. That is the best 10-year run of any FBS school in the entire AP era. It's just horrible. And a little bit of recruiting news, some LSU football recruiting news. Lucas Taylor, the number 1 offensive lineman in Alabama, decommits from LSU and commits to Mississippi State. Obviously, this has caused a bit of consternation amongst Tiger fans as offensive line is viewed as a position of need in this 2022 class. Taylor didn't have the best camp this last weekend, but it looks like he'll be heading to Starkville instead of Baton Rouge.
It's so early in the process. I mean, this is going to happen on both ways, right? You're going to have guys commit to you that decommitted from somewhere else, and you're going to have this kind of situation as well. Good player, but obviously the crown jewel of the class is someone we talked to on Friday. That's Will Campbell from Neville. That's the one that you've got to make sure stays happy throughout the recruiting process.
Yeah, and then shout out to Tanea Marshall from the LSU track and field team. She has now made the final 10, the Bowerman watch list. This is like the Heisman for track and field. At the Eastern Preliminary, she ran a 12.4 400-meter hurdle, which is good for number 2 in the world right now. She's the 2021 SEC champion in the hurdles. How about this? Since June 2019, she is a combined 16-0 in this event. She just does not lose this event on the collegiate level, and she's the lead leg of the LSU's world-leading 4x100-meter relay team. Congratulations to Tanea Marshall making that final 10. Here's to hoping she can take it home.
This track and field team, man, has been so fun to watch, and they've been so dominant all year long. And I also loved seeing them last night in Eugene, in their LSU gear, in the crowd, making some noise for the LSU Tigers. They got their own battles coming up in Eugene.
That's this weekend, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And with all the talent LSU has as far as sprinters and relays and all the things that we've talked about so many times, they've got a real chance to make some noise in Eugene and be the top team.
You know, we love Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss, the LSU beach volleyball greats. On their professional debut, what did they do? They took home the title. They're the AVP Next competition in New Orleans and Coconut Beach. It was said to be one of the biggest domestic pro beach competitions of the 2021 season, and Cloth and Nuss took it down. No problem. Congratulations to them in the NBA playoffs. Last night, the Brooklyn Nets, no Harden, no problem. They absolutely decimate the Bucks to take a 2-0 lead. Kevin Durant is evolving, y'all. He's finally embraced the heel roll. You know, middle fingers out in the air to everybody, basically. He's at peace with himself. He's reaching his final form. He looks unstoppable right now. And on the other side of the docket, the Phoenix Suns, is a close game until the end. The Phoenix Suns break away from the Denver Nuggets to win handily in Phoenix, taking a 1-0 series lead. Suns got a lot of juice to them right now.
Mario, do you still feel good about your Nuggets going to the finals prediction?
Yeah, it's only game one. And
I'm just asking.
They had a double-digit lead in the third quarter, so it's a long series.
Yeah, they didn't have a double-digit lead yet.
No, they had a double-digit deficit, unfortunately. In the NBA awards, a little bit of a debate kicked off yesterday as Tom Thibodeau was named NBA Head Coach of the Year. New York Knicks, Tom Thibodeau, hence the clapping there from Jake. Most people, at least that I've seen, now granted, I follow a very Pelican-centric NBA nucleus on Twitter, think that it should have been Monty Williams. I think, they vote on these things before the playoffs. I think after the playoffs, I think most people now would say it was Monty Williams. But congratulations to Tibbs, I guess.
Yep. No guessing. Congrats, Tibbs.
Yeah, I mean,
took the Knicks to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That is a feat.
Bro, the Suns won the 1 seed. Do you know? Do you
Knicks
remember
to the
what
playoffs.
the Suns have been for the past?
Yeah, they
10
won
years?
every game in the bubble. Every one of them.
And they didn't even make the
and
playoffs.
then they get Chris Paul.
They won every game in the bubble and admit nothing because that's how far back they were. Shout out to Monty Williams and Tibbs. Both did great jobs, but yeah, I think Monty should have gotten it.
Yeah, well, he didn't.
And then finally, Luis Gagne, former LSU golfer, combines to the 121st U.S. Open. Congrats to him, man. Had to qualify his way in, finishing third at his final qualifying competition. Sam Burns also in there, so a little LSU flavor in the U.S. Open. All right, those are your headlines. Coming up next, let's talk about last night's game. It was unbelievable. Can't wait to relive it. Like I said, all the emotions, sports at its finest. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
If you were born to grill, you have to go to Barbecue Guys for all your grilling and outdoor living needs. With the largest selection of top grills and outdoor products and best-in-class customer service, Barbecue Guys has it all. Visit bdqguys.com. That's bdqguys.com. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to centralplumbing.org. Centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. 925-8552 is the number. Look, man, they've been at it for almost 50 years, y'all. Okay, so you're not going to hit Central Plumbing with any issue that's going to, twist them up or they're not going to be able to know how to solve. They've seen it all. They can solve it all. And they do so with flat rate pricing. Everybody's licensed, bond insured, excellent warranty after the work is done, so you have peace of mind before, during, and after. Look, you already know the deal. Centralplumbing.org, 925-8552.
So, look, we were all ready to go at midnight last night. We were watching the game. We were wide awake. Well, Central Plumbing, they were ready to go if you had a problem at midnight because it's 24/7 emergency services, 225-925-8552. No matter what time it is, no matter what the situation is, make that call and they will come to you. Centralplumbing.org is the site again, 225-925-8552.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Middle Relief with Mario Jerez and Matt Musso. We recap LSU and Oregon Part 2 in the Eugene Regional Final, break down the latest in the NFL and college football, and more. Tune in from 12 to 3 p.m. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back. Shout out to everyone who's in the YouTube chat right now. Smash that like button if you can. Man, what a game last night was. I think that's what I mainly want to do here before we look forward to Knoxville or even like get into it from a strategic standpoint, right? Because make no mistake, the strategy of baseball was on display. The mind games being played when you had runners on the corners, and it ended obviously in the balk to take the lead in the 8th, but the mind games being played there with showing bunt, taking it off, putting it on, throwing over to first, trying to have the first baseman charge in. Like, there's a ton of strategy breakdown, but to me, what stood out more than anything last night is like every now and then you are reminded why you love sports so much. And it's because it's this live action drama that has the ability to just tug at your heart, like your emotions, your belly, from your gullet, to just bring these kind of roller coaster of 1 second you're defeated. I mean, I think I sent a text last night. It was a good run, boys. When it was 5-2, I was completely done. I was like, there's no way they're going to come back. The next second you're on top of the world, there's no way they're going to blow this lead. And last night you probably oscillated back and forth between the two a ton. I know that I did. I mean, just all the stress, all the happiness after midnight, right? Senses buzzing. Like I would normally, just based on like my normal sleep pattern, I would be exhausted at that time. I barely keep my eyes open. My senses were on fire with every single pitch. And then as the game creeps towards its eventual conclusion, all that emotion does, Jake, is ramp up more and more and more, to the point where at the end of the game, I'm like, I can't even look at the pitches.
Yeah.
Right? I'm pacing back and forth in the living room alone, trying not to wake up the babies, trying to wake up my wife. I'm pacing back and forth alone, watching on the computer to not be as loud. And I'm doing that thing where I'm like a little kid in a scary movie. I'm having to cover my eyes, and then I'm peeking through right before the ball is thrown. I'm like turning my back to the screen as soon as the pitch is done. It was just, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. It was so fantastic. And would it have hurt if they had lost? Absolutely. But even still, just, I mean, how often do you feel those emotions with anything you do in life? And the fact that they won just made it so much sweeter. My God, that was fun last night.
No, it was. And you did write us. It was a nice run, boys. At 10:08, I've got the text here. And I wrote back, "Oh, ye of little faith," although I was nervous as hell as well. I was trying to be positive.
But you got to put a brave face on in the foxhole sometimes.
You do. But I was sweaty palm the entire time. I was, leg shaking in the bed, little nerves. And it's so funny, and I don't know how you were as a player, but as a player, you typically don't have that because you can control the outcome. You know that you're going to have a say in what happens. When you're watching the game, you don't have a say. You just it is what it is. And of course, there's so many fans that are listening right now saying, yeah, it's like LSU sports. It's what we do every single time that we watch them. And I now feel all of that because I was the same way. I was living through every pitch. And we didn't have that for a long time. It's been a while, in LSU athletics, since we've had a game like that. Just because last year, obviously, the football and the ending, the Florida, the Ole Miss game, we were nervous, but the outcome, you were trying to go 5-5 and not 3-7.
Yeah.
Watching this baseball game, because we didn't have it a year ago, man, it brought back so many great feelings of why we love sports, why we love full stadiums, why we love everything that we love about sports. And we felt like we missed that for a year during the pandemic, and it was glorious.
And make no mistake, the Florida game was one of the most fun games I've ever watched, but on display last night was what makes baseball special. And that is when the stakes get high, the downtime in baseball becomes just this anxiety-riddled minefield that you have to just be patient through. And like I said, because every single pitch, at the end, is this the swing where he sends it over?
Yeah.
We've seen it so many times this year. Think about the Ole Miss Game 3, right? The entire Tennessee series. The early season for LSU, heartbreak, late in the game abounded, right? And so that left a mark on you. And so you couldn't help but wonder if every single pitch, was that going to be the swing? But time and time again, what this LSU team has done, and really, if you just look at the entire second half of the season, whether it was need to take 2 or 3 off Ole Miss, having to get 1 up off of Arkansas, having to win the series against the bad teams, needing 2 of 3 Alabama, losing the first game, then coming back and winning the final 2, time and time again, this LSU team, which is not the best team, not going to go down any record books or anything, but this team has found a way of doing exactly what they needed to do in order to survive and advance, and last night is no difference. And now, let's just look at this regional as a whole. What a legendary 4-game elimination run this Tiger team just went on, and there's so many heroes within, right? Yep. Dylan Cruz, Gavin Dugas, we mentioned Bianco, Landon Marceau finally getting that winning feeling, getting the W last night, closing the door. Fontenot at times during this run. Javen Coleman, what he did. AJ Labus, what he did. Just so many special moments over these past 3 days. And in the end, LSU now finds himself heading to the Supers with a chance for revenge.
And there's little moments, too. A guy like Zach Arnold, who didn't start the first game, right? Zach Arnold comes in. He, DH second base. He gives you some spark in a position that's kind of been all over the place this year. Drew Bianco, we can't talk enough about him going to center field after the Giacomo goes down. We could sit here and talk individual stories of guys that stepped up when they had to, when the number was called. But I can tell you a guy that I know me personally, sitting here talking LSU baseball all season long, I have not done a good enough job of talking about, is Gavin Dugas. A guy that's batted over 300, a guy that has 19 home runs, a guy that has 66 RBIs. 66. He's been hit by 18 pitches this year as well. That in itself is an amazing number when you hear it. He has been so good. He has had one of the all-time LSU seasons at the plate. But because of Trey Morgan and Dylan Cruz, and rightfully so, they have been absolute studs. We don't talk enough about Gavin Dugas and what he's done for this team.
How is this team as a whole? You want to talk about secret power? What's the 97 team record for home runs in a season? Is it 100? This team's hit 88 now, I read, which is pretty insane to think about. They could be closing in on that. Gavin should have another home run on there that was not a triple with an error. That doesn't matter, though. That's just another one of those weird legendary moments in this 4-game stretch, right? Who would have felt that Gavin Dugas' speed would be a literal 2 critical run difference in the final 2 games of this series? So, it was just fantastic. And you want to talk about the concept of team and everybody doing just enough to win. What do you throw? 5 or 6 different guys last night. And to be honest, look, I questioned a lot of the pitching decisions last night. It looked like for a minute, Coach Maneri may have imperiled his own final year by taking out Helmers maybe too early, but then Landon Marceau comes in. But I guess what I was getting to, you want to talk about the concept of team. You mentioned Dylan Cruz and Trey Morgan. On a night where they go a combined 1 of 9, when Dylan Cruz entered this game like 10 of 15, I think he'd reached base 12 of 15. When they go 1 and 9, you win that game 9-8. That is a team. That's everybody finding a way to contribute. And you could pour over last night's exchanges and every little, percentage point advantage that you gained that led to that 9-8 win. It was awesome, man. It was awesome. And now, as I said, you got that chance to get one back on the saltiest series loss of the year, which without a doubt was Tennessee in Knoxville, and now you go back and it's going to be 100% packed. They're going to be nastier, dirtier, and crazier than ever. And if I was on this team, I would want nothing else.
I want all of it. I want
Give me all the smoke.
Tennessee to be at its peak. That's what a super regional is supposed to be. Like I'm okay with how the series played out in the season. Like those two teams going after it a little bit. Tennessee, remember, they had some juice with those walk-off wins that they had against LSU. They let you know that they won the game, and that's okay. That's completely fine. It's just now it's got us to this point in a super regional when everybody remembers all of the things that happened. And we're going to break down what happened LSU, Tennessee the first time and what it's going to look like in the super regionals. But I think it is a perfect matchup for a super regional. Not because I think LSU can go out there and one-up Tennessee. I just think because of all the things that happened this year and because of Coach Maneri retiring and him really not liking losing that series in Knoxville, This is the perfect place for LSU to be.
So an awesome game last night. Congrats to the Maneri. Congrats to the boys getting it done. Coming up next, let's talk to Coach O of the LSU football team as there's massive things going on in recruiting right now. We got to talk about the new O-line coach, Brad Davis. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to AdvantaClean.com, AdvantaClean.com. If you have fire damage, water damage, mold damage, you already know where you want to go, and that is our friends over there at AdvantaClean. Why? Because it's a one call to solve it all. That's right. When you call AdvantaClean, you don't need to call the insurance company first. Okay, you call 369-5228. That's 369-5228. When you do that, they come out, they fix the issue, they document, they deal with the insurance company.
Something they can do that we tell you about is they can sanitize your home or business. You don't have to have a problem. Now, if you do have a problem, T just told you, that is the number to call. But also, if you want to just have your business sanitized, right? You want to make sure that it's at its best. You want to make sure that it's at its safest. Well, they can come out. They can do that. They also can customize that plan we tell you about for your business all the time. They're going to know your business. They're going to know the layout. So if things do happen, which they always do, they can come in and they can fix it faster than ever. AdvantaClean.com.
369-5228.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hanging with Hanny. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Summertime when the fishing's easy. At least it will be if you go get your marine electronics from Front to Back Boat Service. That's right. It is time to take your boat to a new level. You want brand new troll motors. You want cameras. You can see the fish under the water in HD before you even cast. You want brand new speakers for that thing. You want Front to Back Boat Service. Go to fronttobackboatservice.com. Find them on Facebook, 225-928-9644. They do it all. That's why it's Front to Back Boat Service.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We're recapping LSU, Oregon, and the latest on the LSU baseball coaching search. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. It is Tuesday at 7:30, and you already know what that means. It is time for our guy, Coach O, to stop by. Look, man, we've been loving some LSU baseball. Last night was fantastic, and it's on the heels of what was a fantastic weekend for LSU football. Coach O, what's going on, man? Thanks for waking up with us.
Good morning, guys. Great to be on the show. What a great weekend. We had over 1,000 campers here, 5 official visitors, several unofficial visitors. Great to have everything back to normal. What a great camp. Everybody left, got coached up, and there's a lot of smiling faces on campus this weekend.
So, Coach, I know you can't talk about recruits specifically, but just when it comes to kind of the logistics of managing 5 official visits, and I know that unofficial visit thing was even, I think that was around like 15. It was a huge number. What are the logistics? How do you make that happen? How do you and the staff make sure that each guy is having the experience that you want them to have when they come to commit their time there?
A lot of detail, and you got to have a support staff, and we have a huge support staff here, and Austin Thomas and Derek Finansky and Jeff Grigas. They do the logistics for us. Kiva and Olivia do all the recruiting for me. Then we have a recruiting staff of personnel department that Austin Thomas has hired that is fantastic. Those guys have created relationships with the parents, so when they come in here and we have to do football, they have them. And a lot of times they're just as good as recruiters as we are. So our support staff, having all the people ready, and the organization was phenomenal this weekend.
What about you, Coach? Some of my favorite videos of the weekend were you just getting to coach up the boys, man. Whether there's a great one where you're talking about like selfish penalties and everything, but it just looked like I could almost feel your excitement through the screen to have everybody back in there, hundreds of kids, so much juice in that indoor.
Yeah, I love it. I love getting out teaching the grass, and especially coaching fundamentals again, getting out there and coaching the young guys, and was fired up to have a lot of the top prospects in the state and in the South at our camp. And a lot of those guys were already committed to us. I was very impressed with the offensive line and defensive line, the type of players that were at the camp with the intensity level, the technique that they were using. There were some wars going on one-on-one, as you guys saw it.
And, Coach, you're exactly right. There was guys out there competing. Sometimes when you have camps and some of the bigger guys, maybe they don't compete as much. Everybody looked like they were competing. Is that something you look for when you have these camps? You want to see what kind of competitor are. If they lose the first rep, what are they going to do the second rep?
There's no question. We put best against best. And it is when we pick the groups, is the best offensive line against the best defensive line and the players that we think that are college prospects. And then within that group, we picked best against best, and we want them going. And there were some great competitive matches, which was very good for us because we come in and we watch those one-on-ones right away after practice. A lot of times we make decisions whether or not we're giving a scholarship off of those one-on-ones.
Yeah, for those that haven't seen the highlights yet, we played him yesterday, but and you're not talking about this. I am, but Quincy Wiggins and Will Campbell going toe-to-toe. That was iron sharpens iron. It was awesome. What about that latter part you just touched on, though, the ability to earn a scholarship, Coach, because there were a couple of guys that managed to work their way into getting those offers. But, like, if I'm a young football player out there and I'm listening to this, could I legitimately, let's say I'm not on the radar or maybe I'm kind of a fringe guy, like, can you earn your way to getting an offer from LSU by going, competing, and standing out at one of these camps?
It is the best way to do it, and I highly suggest it. And there are some guys, we have question marks. We don't know how big they are, how fast they are, how competitive they are. We don't know if they play this position or that position. We don't know their skill set, how well they move. Those are the things that we find out in camp, and we find out the intangibles. What's their makeup? I went through one practice, and see, Bob, you've been to my camps before. It's practice. And you better get ready. But I'm really impressed with the physical conditioning of our young men and the high schools that are coming here. There are a lot of guys that they're in good shape. They're able to handle the workload, the pace of practice. Very impressed with the conditioning of most of the players.
Coach, was this the most important camp that you can remember because of the way last year played out, not having the opportunity to have this camp, not being able to really hit the road in recruiting, not being able to have guys come to your campus, so you don't really, one, you don't know the guys, and two, you don't really know how much they've grown in a year because you haven't been able to see them?
Yeah, no question. It was a very important evaluation. And not some of the guys we knew that they can play. One of the things at camp is I want them to come to see the way they're going to get coached. Now, I got some new coaches here that I love, and it was an opportunity for us. So let's say a guy's committed to us. He knows he's coming to LSU, but they got a new coach. I want to show up our new coach. I believe we have a top prospect in the state of Louisiana. He hasn't met our new coach. I want him to see how he's going to get drilled, how he's going to get coached, and it's a chance for our coaches to create a personal relationship, not only with that coach, but everybody that brings the player to camp. It's a big recruiting advantage.
Talking to LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron here on Off the Bench. And, Coach, just recently there was some surprising news. James Craig, the offensive line, but then y'all acted immediately and hired away Brad Davis from Arkansas. Is Davis on campus? What has been the early returns from Coach Davis thus far?
Game changer. And everybody, all of us in the profession knew about Davis, up-and-coming coach from Baton Rouge. He was at Arkansas. I know several schools went after him. He wanted to come to one school, Baton Rouge. And in his interview, he reminded me a lot of the things that I thought about when I was at Miami and USC. I always wanted to be back in Baton Rouge. I always wanted to coach for the Tigers and represent the state. He has the same thing and more in his heart. He's an outstanding coach, outstanding recruiters. A lot of our guys on our team have been recruited by him. He was recruiting a lot of we had 3 offensive line recruits in. A lot of the parents already knew him. He had great relationships. So he's hit the ground running. He was able to be with his offensive line for the first time yesterday. They met him. We're going to miss Coach Craig. Coach Craig was a good guy for us, but we have some great coaching, Coach Brad Davis. I feel like we're going to hit the ground running and make some great strides.
Well, Coach, what does it mean to have an administration that is willing to kind of get on the ball and act as quickly as y'all did in this situation, getting, as you said, a highly sought-after target that a lot of people had missed on?
Yeah, we need it, and it was good. Our administration didn't blink. We told them exactly what we wanted, exactly what we needed. They were ready to go. They knew of them, and everybody was on board with the hire.
And Coach, real quick, last one on Davis. I feel like our state is so unique, and we talked about it when this process was going on, like to be able to know the state already, because as you know, it's all about relationships and recruiting, and our state is a little bit different than others. How important was that for him being from Louisiana, already knowing the lay of the land?
Yeah, being from Baton Rouge was a fertile area for us. As we know, we got to do a great to take care of our backyard first. And it starts in Baton Rouge and throughout Louisiana. Brad has a lot of connections. He knows a lot of people. He said he went by his mama's house last night to eat some red beans and rice. He said I should have went. I think when him coming on staff, I have a chance to gain 15 pounds, which I don't want to do, you know.
Coach, how about this? Okay, so last recruiting weekend, insane. I know there's no rest for the weary. 7 on, you mentioned the shape people are in. 7-on-7 is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. What's coming up this weekend in Baton Rouge?
Well, think about this. We have a kids camp and on Thursday, and we got a lot of young kids that want to be future Tigers. And we're going to find some future Tigers. There'll be some kids that come to this camp that'll be future Tigers later on. It's great to see the excitement in the kids' face. The LSU Tigers for the day, mamas and daddies come. So it'll be a big day. And then on Saturday, Coach Bayou has to head up our 7-on-7 tournament. We have 42 teams coming to LSU. That's over 1,500 kids will be on our campus with their family on Saturday at LSU. What a tremendous day. And then we have four official visitors coming in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it'll be another full weekend.
Real quick, Coach, can Coach Bags give me some strawberries, or is he too busy putting together the 7-on-7 tournament?
Oh, no, he always has the strawberries. Strawberries are always with Coach Bags, you know. And, but look, he's been working on the 7-on-7 tournament. You think it's the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
We have a meeting. He'll come in. We got to stop and drop everything we do and answer a 7-on-7 question.
I mean, who has more connections in the state than Bags? He's the perfect man to make it happen, and he does stay strapped with the strawberries.
Yeah,
Coach,
he's the best.
Coach,
he's the man.
Thank you so much for waking up with us on this Tuesday, man. The grind never ends. Best of luck this weekend.
Appreciate you guys. Go Tigers.
Nice, Coach.
Yes, sir. There is Coach Ed Ogeron as LSU football, man. It's rolling. Like I said, dude, it's recruiting is back, and O and company finally getting to flex that recruiting muscle they weren't able to last year. We went long. Let's go ahead and close up hour number 1. Next, get your OTB mailbag questions in for hour 2. We're going to look forward to Knoxville here at the beginning of hour 2 as well. I still want to talk more about Brad Davis. So we got a lot to get to. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Again, look, if you have a vehicle that you've been maybe toying with the idea of selling, right? You're ready to get a new vehicle. All-Star Toyota can help you out in both instances. First off, though, if you want to sell, you will never find a better time than right now, okay? The prices that people are getting are crazy. So go ahead and check that out. See what All-Star Toyota will offer you. They want to buy your vehicle. And then once they do, you can check out Toyota Certified used vehicles, some of the new vehicles, 2021s, whatever you want. Go to All-Star Toyota.
And when you check out those new vehicles, you're going to find something you love. And we tell you every single day because it's true. Everyone in this room has different needs, right? Has a different size family. So we need to do different things when it comes to purchasing a vehicle. But they've got it for everybody. Sedan, midsize, full-size SUV, truck, hybrid, you name it. They've got it, and they're going to have it at a fantastic price. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com is the site.
All-Star family.
Pitchy.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Join us for a Tuesday's edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bed Rivers, live from Doe's Eat Place from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We look back at LSU versus Oregon and continue our picks for the NBA playoffs. We got action. It's Game Time. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. We celebrating this morning. If you're watching on YouTube or online, thank you. Hit the like button. If you're watching on CST, what up? Shout out. But how about this? If you're watching, look on the screen behind us. Here's that fancy Off the Bench graphic and logo that Danny made, but what's that right underneath it? What does this say right here, Jake?
That says home field. Wear one for the team.
Okay, dude, that's right. So yesterday, Home Field, everybody's favorite college apparel company, announcing that LSU gear is coming out. Now, I will have you know, and I mentioned the sweatshirt I had on yesterday. It's the only design I'm going to show, but we already have seen the designs. I have the clothes, and they are incredible, y'all. And we're really excited. We hype it up throughout the week, and then next week is the big reveal this Saturday. You cannot wait. But how perfect the timing that on the day when Home Field announces their LSU line, LSU baseball goes and does what LSU baseball does and finds a way to win and advance to the Super Regional. And LSU football's got a little juice. I mean, to me, with that Coach Joe interview, the biggest thing that stood out to me, I mean, look, I'm always fascinated by the logistics of recruiting, and it just seems like that gets crazier and crazier. But for Coach Joe to sit there and call Brad Davis a game changer, And make no mistake, nobody was happy when James Craig had to leave. It was not like, oh, good, this is an excuse. No, like it was people were very upset within that building, but they acted immediately. They got Davis. He's now met with the O-line, it sounds like, so we got confirmation that he is in town. And then one thing I had to really consider, because he was at Arkansas, he already has relationships, and Will Campbell did tell us this, but he already has relationships with these guys in 2022 that he now has to solidify.
You know, one of the things when we were talking about Jake Peetz that kind of excited me just from looking from afar was the fact that he had been in, places like Alabama multiple times, right? So he leaves and then they bring him back. And that goes a long way with me, because we know what Saban, demands from his assistants. And so a guy like Jake Peetz is brought back. That was a big check mark for me. Same thing with Brad Davis. Like Sam Pittman is one of those offensive line coaches that everybody values as an offensive line coach. I mean, before he was a head coach, obviously he was a long time, one of the most respected in the country. Well, he actually coached Davis at Oklahoma, so we knew him from that level. And then in 2008, he brought Davis to North Carolina as an offensive line GA, right? Then he's your offensive line coach when you get your opportunity, right? When you've been a lifelong assistant, you get your opportunity. Who do you make your offensive line coach, or you make it Brad Davis? Those things tell me everything I need to know, right? Now he's got to do the work once he gets here and things change. I realize all of that. But it's one of those jobs where if you're Sam Pittman's offensive line coach, if he coached you, he brings you into North Carolina, he brings you into Arkansas, that goes a very long way with me, because that tells me what one of the best offensive line coaches we know thinks about you and how you coach the offensive line.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about Brad Davis, kind of his resume up to this point, national championship player on his own. Also some increasing diversity on the LSU staff, which is something that's been needed for a long time. And so it just seems like, in an odd roundabout way, you may have upgraded at O-line despite what seemed like a disaster just last week. So credit to the admin for working so fast. So hour one of the books, hour two next on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com, RejuveMeMedical.com. Look, I don't care if you're in Denham Springs, you're in Baton Rouge, you're in Metairie. There's a Rejuve Me Medical for you. And look, at Rejuve Me Medical, to restore me, refuel me, rejuve me, right? They understand the aging process. But don't think that this is like, you can, even if you're 20 years old, like 28 or something, you're not feeling right. I don't give you in 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. They understand how each decade is different and how to combat it and get back to feeling your best self. Also, your body is the guide. They draw your labs, and with that information, they create a customized plan for you.
All right, one of the things that they can treat at Rejuve Me is fatigue and insomnia, okay? Over the last couple of days, I think everyone in this room, everyone listening to this show is going through that. Hey, just go get an IV, right? Go get something to get you back to feeling yourself that day, and then you'll get on a program to feeling like your youthful self forever. That's what they do over at Rejuve Me, RejuveMeMedical.com, 225-230-42.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
Summertime when the fishing's easy. At least it will be if you go get your marine electronics from Front to Back Boat Service. That's right. It is time to take your boat to a new level. You want brand new troll motors. You want cameras. You can see the fish under the water in HD before you even cast. You want brand new speakers for that thing. You want Front to Back Boat Service. Go to fronttobackboatservice.com. Find them on Facebook, 225-928-9644. They do it all. That's why it's Front to Back Boat Service.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, June 8th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 90. In case you missed hour one of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Still to come, Nick Underhill stops by at 9:30 to talk Saints, and we have our OTB mailbag coming up next, so get your questions in, tweet them, or ask them in the YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on CST. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to hour number 2 of OTB. As I said, it's home field week. Get hyped for big news Saturday, this Saturday, as all the new LSU gear that your heart desires will be revealed. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Danny hanging out with you this morning. No sleep, no problem. It doesn't matter. Tigers win. They set the tone for the day. What an incredible day it has been. I'm just reading stuff during the break. How about the fact that the last 2 days, Gavin Dugas has gone 6 of 8 with 3 home runs, 2 triples, 6 ribbies, 6 runs scored. It's pretty damn good there from Doogie.
Yeah, and he's played a great left field, which, again, something we have not talked enough about. That is not his natural position. And then, the run he scored last night, using his speed, sliding under the tag. He's doing, right now, he's doing everything right. And on the broadcast, the play-by-play was saying, slow starts. It was one game. You didn't get a hit like in the first game against Gonzaga. After that in the regional, the guy was on absolute fire. So he's had a magical LSU season when you look at the statistics of it. And the other guys that we've mentioned and talked about, this guy has really been – he's been the power. He's been the RBI guy driving in runs. And, again, he's played a pretty good left field for it not being a position that he's – used to playing. He didn't grow up playing that position.
Yeah, I think what he finished the regular season, maybe second in ribbies in the SEC, maybe first. Kind of did it under the radar. Probably a lot of that because LSU went 13-17 in conference play, right? But that is the thing about this team is that horrible beginning and the hole that they dug themselves in, which so much of it was due to Tennessee and that series getting swept. That horrible beginning had a way of hardening this team against adversity, right? Because it wasn't just this weekend that they spent with their back against the wall. It was the entirety of the second half of the season. What did they start 2-11? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think about their worst. I'm sure chat will let me know what.
I know worst. 1-8 was the one that we were all talking about.
1-8
in the SEC.
Yeah, I wonder what their deepest hole was from we have X amount of games to play and we have to finish strong. 1-8's pretty horrible, right? And that's right there on the heels of that Tennessee series. So it's just wild to think about. From that moment to now where this team is now, being one of the final 16 teams in the country, and, Jake, a chance to directly avenge the single most painful series loss of the year, which was that Tennessee one, where you barely lose on Friday night. Saturday night, you got all the momentum you're about to win, but then you have to restart the game on Sunday, and what did you need? 1 out? Was Ty Floyd out there? I'm trying to remember the exact scenario. You had an 0-2 count. I think you needed 1 out. You're going to win that game. Tennessee extends it into extras. They end up taking that one, and then they win a very close Game 3 as well. So you were literally 2 plays away from winning that Tennessee series. Instead, you go 0-3. It digs you in that hole. And ever since that moment, you've been clawing back. So how narratively satisfying that you now get the direct chance to avenge those losses, to right those wrongs, and to do it in front of Tennessee, Tony Vitello, the program with all the juice. Well, guess what? LSU's got some juice, too, with him right now on Paul Maneri's final ride.
Yes, on that second game, the one that they lost 9-8 in 11 innings, it was actually Mikael Hilliard who held it down because Jaden Hill got touched up for 6 earned runs. Hilliard comes in, he throws 3 innings, only gives up 2 hits, 1 run, strikes out 3. And Ty Floyd actually came in and did a nice job. He pitched 2 1/3 and kind of held it as well, only giving up 1 run. And then Fontenot came in and he gave up the run that lost the game after walking 2.
Didn't Floyd, though, it was like the night before, he ended the game, right? And then they brought him back to start it again the next day instead of Fontenot. Wasn't that like the
He came in before Fontenot here, and then in game 3, where you're talking about Labus, you lose 3-2, where Labus went 7 strong innings, only giving up 2 earned runs. Then Garrett Edwards came in, and he gave up the lead there after Labus had pitched well.
If I remember correctly, Ty Floyd came in on Saturday night, was throwing well. Game got delayed into Sunday morning finish, and then they went with Floyd again instead of going Fontenot, and there was a little drama there, but it doesn't matter, right? The bottom line is they got swept by Tennessee in an incredibly close series. Nookie helping us out in the chat. They were 2-11 after South Carolina. So that was probably the biggest hold there. 2-11, and they finished 11-6 in the SEC from that moment. Then the SEC tournament left a lot to be desired, although, as we said, some kind of shadow benefits in there. You got to rest up. You got to get Gavin Dugas fully healthy, Garrett Edwards fully healthy. You didn't have to waste them going into – look, if they had had a deep run at Hoover, they would not have been able to just have the weekend that they had where, due to losing early, I mean, it took every single resource that LSU had to win these 4 Elam games in a row. How about the fact that Central Connecticut State had you on the ropes? I mean, you were dead in the water, right? You go from dead in the water looking at 0-2 in the face for 6 innings. That game was tied. You managed to walk that thing off. You take that momentum and look at what it's rolled into.
You're down 5-2?
Yeah, 5-2 in that game as well.
So, I mean, when you look at what they had to do to get to this point, and now you get to hit the rest button, and you're exactly right. They needed every day of rest from the SEC tournament. I know you don't ever want to lose, but that's become a blessing in disguise, and now you get to hit reset. Now, you're not going to have as much rest as Tennessee, but still, even a couple of days off, getting back into your own home and your own bed for a little bit before you go to Tennessee and getting a little bit, I know Eastern time zone, but a little bit of a more normal clock for you than it is out in the Pacific Northwest. So now you hit reset and you start to look at what you've done against Tennessee. And I tell you what, when you really peel back what that series was, some of the guys that are going to be pitching in this series did really well. Marceau, 5 innings, struck out 9 guys, only gave up 1 run.
Okay.
I mentioned Hilliard going 3 strong innings, Labus going 7 strong innings. And I know Labus has had some troubles, but even in the Gonzaga game, had troubles early, found a way, and then settled in. He pitched well against Tennessee. Will Helmers gave you 2 strong innings in that first game of the Tennessee series. Ty Floyd, we just mentioned it. He gave you 2 1/3 there against Tennessee and pitched pretty well. So when you start to break it down, the guys that are going to matter here, really the only guy that got touched up was Jaden Hill in that series. And so we're always going to look at matchups. We're going to see how they play out. I know this team's different, just like Tennessee's different than when they played, but it is good to see a guy like Landon Marceau had that type of success, striking out 9 guys in 5 innings.
Yeah, and remember, I think the other big takeaway from the Tennessee series is just what Coach Maneri said about that environment, right? Which was only 50% full at the time. And even then, we'll play the clip. Danny, do we? I didn't tell you all to have it ready to roll, but if we have it, let me know. Of Maneri on the show earlier this year, where he was talking about just how nasty, which is just like one of those kind of funny Maneri words. It's just it's kind of some of the quirks that you're going to end up missing about Coach Maneri, or like what he says, like silly or something like that. But just about how nasty Tennessee was, and they were in Trey Morgan's head, and the Tennessee fans latched on to that because, of course, they did. Tennessee's been an SEC kicking, a kicking dummy, like whatever, for years now. It seems like, especially on the football field. Basketball, they've had some success. There's never really been anything in baseball. So this is what they're clinging on to. Like, there's no hotter name right now in Knoxville than Tony Vitello. If you've seen any of the videos from this weekend, he is beloved by this fan base. The Tennessee environment looks better than ever at 100% capacity. But I think what Tennessee fans are maybe misunderstanding here is that in that clip, Coach Mainieri may sound a little, most would say that it maybe sounds a little soft, right? I think what they're not accounting for is it's actually created a lot of anger. And then what you're really hearing there is anger. And what you're really hearing there, even like his final press conference and everything the other day, he wants another chance of revenge. We talked about it when Coach had his press conference, right? One of the great things about Mainieri is he just cares, man. Like cares a ton, deeply, down to his soul. And so what happened earlier that year, it affected him. It stuck with him. And I know that if you could get him to open up, be completely honest, that he would rather play nobody else in this super regional than this Tennessee Volunteer team. Do we have the clip? Yeah. Okay. Let's. Okay. So this was Coach Mainieri. It's actually April Fool's Day, back in the day. This was on the heels of that Tennessee series.
Listen, even though there wasn't a huge crowd at Tennessee, it was an extremely hostile environment.
Yeah.
They were nasty.
You could hear it.
Nasty.
You could hear it over the TV.
I mean, they were into Trey Morgan's head. I mean, they were on him from the moment he walked onto that field. And, I mean, it was a difficult situation with the umpiring. There were a lot of calls that went against, kids, and they were having to deal with that. The other team was not handling things with a lot of class, quite frankly. And, it was an environment that those kids had been in for the very first time. And it was very difficult. Listen, even though there wasn't a huge crowd at Tennessee, it was an extremely hostile environment.
Yeah.
They were nasty.
You could hear it.
Nasty.
You want to hear one more
TV. Nasty.
I mean, they were.
Pause it. All right, yeah. So I mean, right there. And make no mistake, the Tennessee fans have latched onto that bite. Okay.
Oh,
and they are
latched on. I was like, whoever put my name in these mentions,
yeah.
I don't like you for the rest of the day.
It's probably Danny, actually. But like they've latched on, so it's going to be even nastier, even crazier. But if you're really mad, like if you're really mad about the things they were saying to Trey Morgan, if you're really mad about how the players handled themselves and the team didn't handle themselves with a lot of class, well, you know what the best way to handle that is? It's to go beat their ass. And you're now giving yourself that opportunity.
And that crowd at Tennessee at that time, remember, that was very early in the SEC season. In fact, that was only the second series. Nobody expected Tennessee to be what Tennessee is now. They expect them to be a good baseball team, but they're a great baseball team.
Yeah.
So that crowd, like you mentioned, and obviously we were still under some restrictions. I don't know exactly what the percentage, probably 50% at the time. It is going to be wild now because of the things you mentioned, right? They're looking for success in any kind of athletic program right now. So they are going to be out. They're going to be loud. They're going to be rude. Look, they're supposed to be rude. It's the SEC. That's just what happens when you go to opposing stadiums.
It is interesting, though, right? Because in any given year, if you were to line up LSU baseball and Tennessee baseball in this scenario, you would think that if you didn't know anything about this year, surely LSU had the pressure on them, right? Like, I mean, that's the program with the expectation. Tennessee should be the team that's just happy to be here. Given the odd nature of this season, in the context of this game, the complete opposite is actually true. Tennessee's the 3 seed. They're the ones who have all the hopes, had the expectation of being here by year's end. There's the ones that expect to go to Omaha. Everybody after LSU lost their first opening regional game since 1985. I think I speak for us all. We all probably thought they were dead in the water. Not saying they didn't have a chance. You'll always have a chance, right? Whatever. But you would have not have put money on them to make it to this point. So LSU is the team now that can embrace that underdog role, play free. Like I said, it's lagniappe at this point, and let's see how much lagniappe you can get out of this Tiger baseball team.
It's a great point you make because not many times with a program like the blue blood that LSU baseball is, do you have a situation where the other team probably has more pressure on them. The fact that you're able to get to a super regional after you were 1-8 and 4-11 at one point in the SEC.
2-11.
Well, it was 4-11. I did some.
Oh, okay.
Did some fact checking. Look, let's be honest. You did not think you would be in a super regional right now with some momentum. That's the fact. Like at that point, you did not think that. You're here now. Like you mentioned, everything else is lagniappe.
How about this? I think you lost the first South Carolina game, right? So you might have been 2-11 before you won those final 2. So at the tail end of the South Carolina series, I don't know if that math checks out. We'll
South
see.
Carolina, you Won the first, lost the last two.
Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. 4-11 to where they are now.
Get those
Hell
tiny
yeah.
hands out and start
Hell
counting on
yeah.
your fingers,
Let's
T.
go Tigers. All right, OTV Mailbag. When we get back, get all your questions in. We'll answer them next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. Service to the highest degree. You have AC, heating, electrical needs. You want to go to our friends over there at AccuTemp. They're reviewed so well online because working with them is incredible. Normally it's really annoying trying to set up time, somebody coming out of your home. They work on your schedule, and then look, they come out, they fix if anything needs to be fixed, exactly where you stand, but then you're in the system. And then to like 6 months down the road, they'll call you up again on your schedule. You set up a time, they come out, and they check out everything. They did that for me. I'm like, okay, what do I owe you? Nothing. It was free. They just wanted to make sure nothing broke down too badly to help me avoid catastrophic fixes down the road. That's the customer service I'm talking about.
Sabo, it was hot yesterday.
It was hot yesterday.
It was real hot yesterday. Had
My
some
daughter was
honeydews.
like,
The heat is here. So make sure that your equipment is working at its peak performance. Make AccuTemp the call. They're going to have it working at its peak performance, and they're always going to make sure it's working at its peak performance when they come back out. AccuTempBR.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
What if you could truly energize your body and mind from the most fundamental level? Your cells. Cellivate is a revolutionary health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement, packing everything you need to optimize your mind and body from the inside out. The unique formula combines top-notch cellular energizers, nootropics, herbal extracts, and powerful antioxidants, all in one sugar-free 12-ounce can. Elevate your cells. Cellivate.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans. That's why we're highlighting the fans that do the most. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out at 1045ESPN.com, the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
Vizzy, the first hard seltzer with antioxidant vitamin C. It just hits different. Vizzy, step up your seltzer game.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my four boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 3.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Middle Relief with Mario Jerez and Matt Musso. We recap LSU and Oregon Part 2 in the Eugene Regional Final, break down the latest in the NFL and college football, and more. Tune in from 12 to 3 p.m. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Think Gordy will send us to Knoxville?
I don't know that I want to go to Knoxville.
I do.
I think I would rather...
I'll be the correspondent.
I think I would rather do some sort of...
Well, because...
Do we just want to, workshop this on air?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, no, you know my style. I'm down.
Yeah, why not? I think it's because of my confrontational personality that I want to go to Knoxville, maybe. I feel like it's going to be popping a little bit in the stands, and we can do remote there.
Look, make no mistake. I can be obnoxious. I can be obnoxious at an imposing fan stadium, right? But some sort of outside projector setup, beers on tap, here in Baton Rouge with the fellas of both the fellas of the male. It's a non-gender specific fellas. I'm talking about boys and girls. Here in Baton Rouge, that sounds pretty damn fun to me.
Yeah, no, it sounds fun, but also there's not I get to antagonize the Tennessee fan in person.
No doubt. But what if it goes
element
sideways? You know what I mean?
If
it goes sideways, I don't really.
Either way, I'm still going to talk my talk.
It'll be like when I was sitting on the ramps at Sanford Stadium after watching Georgia whoop y'all's ass in 2006 with my head in my hands, wondering how the hell I was going to go to high school on Monday.
2004.
Whenever it was.
2004.
That's not the point.
And look, at the end of the day, Josh Heupel's their football coach. Okay?
That's true.
All right.
That is true. They hired Heupel. I know. But no, look, Knoxville would be fun, but I think we need to put together some sort of watch party for this weekend. Here's to hoping that we get the Saturday game. When will that be announced? Well, so what regionals haven't finished up yet? The SEC showed up, dude. For all the talk of the SEC being on the rope, 6 of the 16 final teams are from the Southeastern Conference, which is pretty absurd. Dallas Baptist making it is absolutely fantastic. Yesterday was actually just a great day of college baseball. The Arkansas highlights were awesome. The Tennessee ones were.
The Arkansas crowd, that was a good shot.
The Tennessee crowd was pretty damn good too, bro.
No, it was, but I'm not talking nice about Tennessee right now. The Arkansas crowd looked great.
It's true. It's Tennessee Hate Week. Screw the Volunteers. Screw Scott Kushner. He's a horrible Pelicans writer. Should never read his articles. He's short and balding.
Dang, T.
No. The short balding thing is a Scott inside joke. Mario knows.
Y'all already talking smack on Twitter, huh?
Yes. And it started last night. We'll have Scott on sometime this week. As we did every time there's been a little LSU Tennessee kerfuffle.
He had his fun. I remember he had his fun after the Tennessee series.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, dude. They haven't had much of this in recent times. So here we are. And then look, if we're just talking about awesome things in college baseball, the Tim Elko. Whatever. Screw Ole Miss, but Tim Elko just continuing to smash home runs with a torn ACL is pretty badass. It's pretty cool. All right.
Give that young man some credit.
Yeah.
Because he's going out there and he's doing things that would be impressive on 2 ACLs, and he's got 1. Great tweet Ole Miss baseball had. He has more home runs than intact ACLs.
In one game. Old Dominion versus Virginia is the final game. That's this morning. If Virginia wins, they'd actually be the only team along with LSU to lose their first game and then get into the Supers. And then I guess we'll get scheduling maybe later today.
No, we're Saturday.
Oh, it is Saturday.
We're Saturday at 7 p.m.
Oh, boys.
Well, 6 Central Time.
If that doesn't sound like an outdoor drinking watch party, I don't know what does, dude. Let's go. Speaking of watches.
We need to have we could have a companion show. I don't know.
I got scammed last night. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, you did.
All right, let's dive into OTB Mailbag.
Let's jump in.
Special delivery!
Let's open the mailbag.
Special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
right, Mario, take it away.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Hester, what's the inside scoop on Craig? We know that you know.
The inside scoop? Do I have inside sources? Maybe?
I think, look.
Like that people seem to think you do.
A guy like Brody Miller's got great insight.
Him and Brooks Kubina have both said it's recruiting violations.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, that's it is. It's nothing scandalous. It's recruiting violations. It sucks, but as you said, ironically, you may have leveled up.
Hashtag, there's your answer. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. T-Bob, would you ever consider taking an offensive line coach job?
No, absolutely not. No. I mean, it's just too much work. You never get to see your family or anything. Money would be good, but you can't spend the money. So, like, what's the point? No.
Same reasoning as Hester. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. What are y'all's best, most emotional game memories?
Certainly winning the Swamp in 2010 was incredible. I remember I had a random high school game, beat East Hall 37-30 in the playoffs, and it was just like one of those battles where you're so exhausted that I was just moved to like complete tears by the end of the game.
High school wise, beating West Monroe in West Monroe. A young Will Blackwell was the ball boy for the West Monroe Rebels. Went for over 200 on the ground that night in their own stadium.
Danny, you got to clip this and tag Will.
That was a pretty good one. College, obviously too many to choose from. NFL-wise, 2008, last game of the regular season. Winner goes to the playoffs, and we whipped the Jay Cutler-led Denver Broncos. I remember we're on the 4-yard line. We're beating the hell out of them. I'm playing running back. Philip says, if you score, spike it as hard as you can. I said, okay. Spike the ball. It goes in the stands. I said, PR-17. If I get fined, that's on you. He said, I got you, Bo. And that was one of my favorite memories.
Did you get fined?
I did not.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, if you don't throw it. If you spike it and it goes into the stands, you're okay, but you can't throw it.
I will say the 2011 Oregon game, too. Speaking of Oregon, right? Winning that there's so much build-up to it. That was a pretty awesome feeling when I knew we had kind of put the nail in the coffin.
My most emotional game memory is probably calling the national championship game 2 years ago. I did not get fined. Odell Beckham did. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Who would win an arm wrestling match, T-Bob or Hester?
I mean, is he going to wear a fake hand?
You got the grip advantage.
It's tough because it's a technique thing, right? Definitely the hand size disadvantage hurts, but I think I have more raw power.
No.
What did you bench? What do you bench?
Tell you what you bench.
Yeah, I mean, like what?
How many times did you do 225? I think 30. You got me. Yeah, I got 24.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. This isn't a chess competition.
Day, dude.
So did I.
I used my 435.
Yeah, call Tommy.
Okay.
Back check me.
Okay, shut up.
Back to football.
I've got a hat. I can turn mine backwards. Have you ever seen Over the Top? You don't have a hat on.
I've never seen Over the Top.
What?
We're gonna see who wins after the show. And I'm
no.
We would both pop our bicep before we lost.
I was going to say I don't arm wrestle ever since that Tosh.0 video where that girl's arm explodes. Yeah. I'm like, nah, not doing it, fam.
So you're scared.
Sure. Yes. Like, actually, yes. I'm scared of my arm exploding. I don't want to do it at all, dude. Danny, I will smash you. I don't think you're a little.
So you want to arm wrestle?
I don't think you're a little pumped up. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm scared.
Oh, Danny's challenge accepted with his arms folded.
Producer arm wrestling competition back there.
Yeah, let's go, Mario and Danny.
Guatemala versus Mexico. Let's see who wins.
I'd need a couple weeks to train.
Now, I will say this: my guy Alex Nunez asking if I use two hands, could I win in a thumb wrestling competition? I do not think I could beat Jake in a thumb wrestling competition, no matter what.
Do you use, like you always talk, tag team?
That would be a massive disadvantage. You can do like a handicap match. I get both thumbs.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Is orange the most unwearable color?
I mean, guys,
it's the new black.
Guys, are we really Okay, nice job. Are we really throwing shade though? We have purple and yellow. Like, can't we all
purple and gold? I don't know what this yellow.
Okay.
Purple and gold.
Okay, no, but objectively, it's yellow.
Dude, look at those glorious gold jerseys last night.
Bro, I'm not saying I don't like LSU's color scheme.
It's
I'm an
Mardi
idiot.
Gras theme.
I have purple everything. I have a purple lightsaber that I built from Disney.
I do wish we had some green. Just a little
gold
bit.
Go together.
True Mardi Gras.
Like historically, they're both royal colors. So
yeah, they are. Yeah.
They've been used together
Facts.
for like years.
Okay, look, if y'all want to act like we're on some high pedestal fashion-wise over the orange, that's all well and good. From where I sit, we're both gaudy. I think we should have both
High
embraced
pedestal.
it.
We're up here.
Yeah,
up here.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Hey, look, you're finally taller than me.
I can't help but think of the blindside line by Sandra Bullock when she lets Michael Orr go to Tennessee instead of Ole Miss, or gives him her blessing, and she's like, "You can go to Ole Miss, you can go to Tennessee, but don't expect me to wear that shade of orange ever."
Yeah. Tennessee's got a better shade of orange than Horns Down, but still,
I do agree with that. I think we're gaudy brethren. Yeah, it's all ridiculous.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. If Paul Maneri takes LSU to the College World Series, any chance he comes back for a couple more seasons?
No, he's man. You can tell.
Love that this is happening on this final round.
Me too. And you can tell, like Coach Maneri, living through every pitch. You can tell emotionally, like this is it. Like he is drained. He's used every source of energy that he has on this season and throughout his time coaching 39 seasons. He is. Like mentally, he knows like this is the last run.
Yeah, and yes, Bill, I know the story. LSU and Tulane playing back in the day. They had to have colors. Tulane grabbed the green. LSU grabbed the purple and yellow. I know.
Yeah, I know too. But I just wish we had a little green.
Last football question. This one's kind of open-ended. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Will the LSU offensive line be better now that Coach Craig is gone?
Coach Craig was a great X's and O's
That's
coach.
what I was going to say. I don't know that that's where we're talking about the upgrade coming in Brad Davis. It's more on the recruiting trail, on like roster management. But Craig, what he did with working in so many different guys and having them perform, like the struggles of last year were not on Craig as much as that was just a line that didn't play great, and arguably because of play calls maybe wasn't always put in the best position and freshman quarterbacks and everything. But that wasn't like Coach Craig being a bad X's and O's technique guy.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Last one. With Sullivan losing and Vitello possibly going down 2-0 to the Tigers, will both of them be losers now and not good enough for the LSU job?
Yeah. It's a great, like the way it's formed. That's fantastic.
I mean, it is funny to think about, like O'Sullivan getting knocked out like he did at home in a regional, what that would do to the LSU fan base if it happened here. And now that's the guy that's the number one target. But you can't be too much of a slave to the moment, right?
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of names, but Scott probably has a pretty good idea already in his mind who his top target is. In fact, I would almost guarantee that he knows who his top target is.
Do you know who his top
target
target
is? I do
is?
not.
Okay.
I do not have any inside sources, but just knowing how Scott Woodward works, to have an offensive line coach like 24 hours from when Craig was let go, he's got somebody in his mind. That was not the last one, Mario. The last one is hashtag OTB Mailbag. Who wins the Euros?
France.
I was going to say, Danny, France has got some power. And my dark horse would be Italy.
Belgium.
Because I told you they were number one in FIFA rankings.
They're still in their golden generation.
No, I think they're a little past it. Now, De Bruyne, depending on his health, that's big for Belgium.
It is because you told me that they
Mario,
were
who you got?
I'm going France, too.
Viva la France.
But if the Euros has ever taught us anything, it's always from a team that we don't expect it to be. Like Portugal winning.
It's not Viva, it's Vive la France, right?
Your last name's Hebert. You're telling me. I'm not telling you.
Oh, bro, I remember we were, make no mistake, we were flying the French flag at was it the 2000 World Cup with Zidane where they won, or was that 96?
06. Oh, yeah, 90s. They won
96.
one.
It was
96 when they beat the chubby Ronaldo Brazil team 3-2.
It was in France, too, in 96.
Vive la France.
Was it? I did not know that.
Vive la France.
Wait, I just said that. You said I was wrong, Danny.
Viva.
It's V. Vive la France. Vive la France.
It was 90. Yeah, it was 98.
That's what it was. I knew it wasn't 7. It was 98.
And it wasn't 6, yeah.
And they beat Ronaldo's Brazil
France.
team. I had a Zidane toy and a poster on the wall. How about that?
I didn't think my brain could go back that far.
How about the fact that Belgium probably is known for the coolest things in the world in terms of they're known for diamonds, chocolate, waffles, and French fries. Hey, shut up, Belgium.
France should have won in 06 again. I don't think Zidane gets enough flack for what he did and being ejected in that World Cup.
The headbutt?
I mean,
in that moment, how can you do that in your last game?
Bruh, I'm not going to ever hate on somebody for losing their composure. I've been known to do it a time or two.
I mean, it was a great troll job.
Luis Suarez beat somebody.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he is a biter. He is definitely a biter.
Luis Suarez is a psycho, for sure.
Yes.
That is it. OTB Mailbag in the books. Coming up next, keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. The dealership's so nice. I joined it twice with that 2020 Toyota Sienna minivan. So much room for activities. It's insane, y'all. Just bringing kids everywhere throughout the summer, and the minivan makes it as comfortable as possible. It is the family vehicle. And you can get it customized like black, whatever you want. The Murdered Out Mini, join me in the club. And again, now's the time to sell to All-Star Toyota. If you're looking to sell, the value's higher than it ever will be.
You're right about that. It's also the perfect time to buy. As we told you earlier on in the show, it's also a perfect time to rent a Toyota because this is vacation time. This is travel baseball time. This is travel 7-on-7 time. You're going to hit the road is what I'm saying. And if you don't have a vehicle that can hold everyone in your party, or if you want to downsize and you want to get a sedan for that trip, they offer all of that over at All-Star Toyota. Check out the rates at All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Different prices on different vehicles. They got it broken down right there on the homepage, T.
Try to go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com and join the All-Star.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We're recapping LSU, Oregon, and the latest on the LSU baseball coaching search. Join us, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
That's the joke, Danny.
Quit disrespecting Danny, T-Bob. Just because
well,
you think you're the host of this show,
he's talking all
you have
that
to
ish.
respect the rest of the room.
He's talking all that ish about nobody caring about the League of Nations Cup.
Well, that's because they lost.
Yeah, dude. He's
I
talking
get
about,
that. They
he's talking
lost.
about
I'm talking
Mexico missing stars.
I'm
and
talking about the
Vladimir
rest of the
missing
world doesn't
Pulisic.
care.
And then Mario's
it's
sitting
look.
here saying that Jurgen Klinsmann ruined U.S. football.
Yeah.
That's what kicked this all off. Do you agree or disagree? You're the big USMNT fan. I feel like Klinsmann fell short of the hype, but to me, it was when they were like, well, what if we just hired Bruce Arena again?
Jurgen actually got some internationals that had dual citizenship to come play for the U.S. I think he did a fantastic job of opening that door.
Death.
He did get out of the
Back in the
group of
day.
death. He did.
Yeah, so I don't know if he ruined it. I think it was him going back to the well with Arena and company. And then I don't know, maybe it's just, a lot of times it's just like the talent pipeline. Because don't they just have a bunch of young cats now that have just risen up recently?
Yeah, they play in Europe.
I mean, it's like why Belgium stayed so relevant, right? They just hit on the golden generation out of nowhere. Why are you shaking your head, Danny? Just because your players play in the MLS?
No, I just wanted to see a reaction from you if I shook my head.
Welcome back to Off the Bench. Jake, probably very ecstatic right now that we just talked a little footy.
Was that my 90 seconds?
No, do you want 90 seconds?
No, that's fine.
When did
That's
the
fine.
Euros start?
It's fine. The 14th, I believe.
Oh, hell yeah.
Flag Day.
Boys.
Yeah, little Flag Day
We're about
action.
to have some European international soccer going on during the summer.
We will.
Sounds like a segment to me in one way or another. Very excited to watch that. Neil McClellan is Home Field and official OTB sponsor now. Well, you will be hearing a lot about Home Field over the next 2 weeks from us. It is a Home Field takeover. You will be seeing a lot more. Remember, I teased you with a sweatshirt yesterday. You'll be seeing a lot more come next week after the big reveal this Saturday.
Yeah, shout out to our guy, Emil, because he was asking for Home Field to drop an LSU line for a very long time. I was with him as well because I saw all the cool stuff, and it didn't have LSU on it yet.
Yeah.
But it soon will. In fact, it already does. You just can't see it until next week.
Nookie raises another thing that Belgium was also good at that I did love. They have fantastic beers. Belgian beers are, if I had to pick a region or just a country that consistently produces the beer that I fall in love with, it's all out of Belgium. Although I don't know whatever happened to Chimay Bleu or La Fin du Monde. These are two beers that I fell in love with back in the early 20-teens when I was board gaming a ton. Weekly, everybody would buy a bunch of bottles and bring them around. But if you have any leads on getting some more of those bottles, let me know, especially La Fin du Monde. It's been way too long.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about right now.
Yeah, because we just love cold Coors Light.
I mean,
that's all we need.
I mean, that's not a show. That's literally.
No, I agree. I love cold
drink.
Coors Light as well. But there's a time and place for everything, right?
Yeah, but I still don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea.
That's fair. That's the 318 bowl.
Yep.
Well, that's that. That's that. Who was the coach last week? La Tech's coach. When he was talking about one of them blue collar dirty boys.
Yeah, Bo. Yep.
I don't need these high flyers.
Our boy Will Campbell had a fantastic 318 accent, by the way, on Friday.
Is that about as Neville as it gets?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It sounds.
It's
very
like
Neville.
he says hello, you're from Monroe. Like immediately is what you say to him.
I don't know how this came up. Somebody talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile in Street Fighter.
Because he's from Belgium. And you're talking about Belgium.
Oh, Jean-Claude's from Belgium?
Yeah.
Wow, dude. You learn something new every
Jean-Claude.
day. JCVD. I just always assumed he was
Wait,
French.
have you seen Bloodsport and Kickboxer and
I
all?
have not.
Oh, my God.
I've not seen Bloodsport. I know.
I'm going to mute you for 5 seconds. You get a 5-second penalty because that is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like part of the interruption.
Oh.
Or not PTI. It's like around the horn.
Around the horn.
Yeah, I deserve that.
Do you think they curse when they're muted, like when nobody can hear them?
That would be a pretty big risk.
That'd be a
Right?
huge risk.
Some of them look pretty mad when they get muted.
That's all for the show.
I would be a little. I don't think I'd just suddenly start dropping F-bombs because, like, what if it just suddenly came through? All right, I think right here I want to talk a little bit more. Let's talk about a little bit more about where Brad Davis kind of has been. So that's LSU's new offensive line coach. He was a player back in the day. He was actually a starter on the 2000 Oklahoma BCS championship team on the offensive line. Now, that was a team that was mainly known for its defense. What did they win that championship? It wasn't like 6-0, was it? Wasn't it something really low scoring against Florida State? Do you remember the score?
It wasn't that low scoring. It was an ugly football game.
Yeah, I just remember it was like
Chris Winkie,
just down
quarterback
and dirty.
for Florida State.
Yeah. Not Jason White. No, that was 03.
No,
that was
yeah,
03.
it was Heupel.
Wait, was it really?
Pretty sure it was Heupel. Because he went from the Independence Bowl to the National Championship.
Wow, quite the glow up for Heupel there. Okay, so as a player, a national championship winning player, and then as you said, he's now been coaching for 16 years. Immediately got into the coaching game. Unlike us, not afraid of the grind.
13-2.
Okay, I told you it was a
we
gross.
Said 6-0.
Yeah, no, but no, I'm saying it was a gross score. Like we said,
disgusting.
That's kind of hard.
A natty. 13-2.
It's almost as hard to wrap your head around as a 21-0 natty. That makes no sense.
No,
either.
I was there. I know why that happened.
But so he's been coaching now for 16 years. He's been all throughout the SEC, and as you said, he basically got the kind of tacit approval of one of the most respected O-line coaches in the entire country, and Sam Pittman. And then you always want to look when LSU has struggled with their hires recently. Now, this is not a 100% thing, right? Because nobody was rushing out to hire Coach O, and that's worked out fantastically. But a lot of times you want to think, okay, is there a market for this guy? Like nobody was going out to hire Stan Van Gundy. It hasn't worked out that well. Nobody was hiring Bo Pelini, and look at what happened. Everyone has been trying to hire Brad Davis, including your USCs, multiple different SEC schools. There are a lot of teams that have tried to poach him away. And so anytime you get a guy that is that highly sought after, you would think that bodes well. And that's really, I would almost say is that Woodward's hiring philosophy, right? Like that's what he does. He hires the big names that everybody wants. He just finds a way. He's the closer. He finds a way to close to get it done. So if nothing else, he could sit there and say, like, if it doesn't work, he could sit there and say, well, look, man, it wasn't just me. Everybody wanted this guy. Like, I mean, the brain trust accepted that this was the guy.
I think there's a little bit of that. But also, when things like this happen, you've got a short list ready to go. And if you don't, that's on you. I think you have to have, at every position, when you're at a place like LSU, you've got to have quarterback coach, running back coach, receiver, whatever it might be. You've got to have a list of 3 guys. Now, those 3 guys might not work out, and you might have to go to 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it might be. But in your mind, and probably somewhere in your desk, you've got a list of 3 guys at every position. Right, so as soon as James Craig was let go, you get the list out. Brad Davis' name sounds like was number 1.
Well, and don't forget too, there was some talk about maybe moving on from Craig after the season. So I'm sure there was some tire kicking done in some circles, right, about potential replacements. And Coach Davis probably rose to the top of that list. And then, like I said, I just love that you add another young black coach, add some more diversity to this staff, and I think that goes a long way with the team. And so I think there's even some benefits therein. All right, let's close out hour number 2 of Off the Bench when we get back. And coming up hour 3, we're going to talk some NFL. We got our guy Nick Underhill coming on to break down the latest Saints news. Drake Kirkpatrick in town. What does it mean? Aaron Rodgers definitely not showing up for minicamp. What does that mean? Plenty of stuff to get to here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to DonaldSoulGlassEmbodied.com. DonaldSoulGlassEmbodied.com for all of your vehicular needs. A literal one-stop car shop. Tires, wheels, brakes, glass, oil change, even like just an inspection sticker. Remember, if you get in an accident, the police can't tell you who gets a tow. The insurance company can't tell you where to go. The answer to both is Donald Glass Embodied.
And they're going to be transparent throughout the entire process, which is so important because if you've ever had to deal with any issues with your vehicle, you know that is not always the case. In fact, most of the times it's not the case, but you're going to get that. I told you my own experience numerous times. I had a vehicle that had what I thought was only one problem. In fact, there was more than that. It was like 6 or 7 things going wrong with my vehicle, but they didn't just fix them and then charge me on the other side. They called me and they went through everything, wanted to know exactly what I wanted to get fixed on my vehicle. That's what you're going to get at Donaldsonville Glass Embodied at DonaldsonvilleGlassEmbodied.com. Check a full list of services, which is everything.
Is it burning in here?
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
What if you could truly energize your body and mind from the most fundamental level? Your cells. Cellivate is a revolutionary health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement, packing everything you need to optimize your mind and body from the inside out. The unique formula combines top-notch cellular energizers, nootropics, herbal extracts, and powerful antioxidants, all in one sugar-free 12-ounce can. Elevate your cells. Cellivate.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Summertime when the fishing's easy. At least it will be if you go get your marine electronics from Front to Back Boat Service. That's right. It is time to take your boat to a new level. You want brand new troll motors. You want cameras you can see the fish under the water in HD before you even cast. You want brand new speakers for that thing. You want Front to Back Boat Service. Go to fronttobackboatservice.com. Find them on Facebook.
Join us for a Tuesday's edition of Jimmy Yacht's Game Time, presented by Bed Rivers, live from Doe's Eat Place from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We look back at LSU versus Oregon and continue our picks for the NBA playoffs. We got action. It's Game Time. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Que pasa, y'all? Welcome back, OTB.
Huh? I'll tell you what, I fall into a deep 2000 Oklahoma Sooners rabbit hole, ever since we brought up Brad Davis being a starter.
Who was their badass
linebacker? They signed Teddy Lehman that year. That's a name that a lot of people will remember, but Rocky Kalmus.
Really? See, I don't really remember.
You don't remember Rocky Kalmus?
No, I just remember the existence of like a badass linebacker.
It was
Rocky Kalmus?
It was Rocky Kalmus.
How could I ever forget that name? I mean, even though I was only 11 years old, that seems like the most tailor-made fake football name. Like if you write a movie script, you name your linebacker Rocky Kalmus.
He's exactly what you would think a Rocky Kalmus to look like in his uniform as well. Gigantic. There it is. Beautiful. Look at that T. Beautiful neck roll, cowboy collar-ish type Douglas thing going on.
But.
He's got a cast on his hand that's wrapped up in tape.
And he's carrying the ball, which is awesome, which means, anytime you're touching the ball with the cast on the hand. But number 20, not the most gritty number. It's a little fancy. It's a little fancy pants from Rocky there.
But for a linebacker, it's a little bit Out of nowhere. What would be gritty at linebacker?
You got to be in the 50s. If linebackers need to be in the 50s, if you want to be old school, like
or
if you want to rock,
44.
if you want to rock like the cowboy collar and everything, I think of Bill Romanowski as the epitome of the grit linebacker, right? And he used to rock 53. Now, granted, Bill Romanowski, not a good person, spitting in people's face, which is like, I mean, come on, that don't do that. But also, he spit in people's face. Like, he was as dirty as it came. And he was rocking the neck roll in 53 and, allegedly probably a little roided out as well. But I used to love Romanowski growing up because I used to love those Denver Broncos too.
Is that why you wear a 53? You're a Bill Romanowski fan. A lot of things are coming out right now. Like, organically, that just happened. That's why you wore 53 is because of Bill Romanowski.
Actually, yeah, no doubt. I mean, that is one of the key reasons. The other thing was I thought of myself as more of an athlete. So like our guy Rocky, who obviously didn't want to rock 50s because he wanted to be a little more athletic. I didn't want to end up in the 60s. And so when I learned that sinners could wear 50, I was like, all right, let's do it then. And then, I wanted to be like Bill. Give me that 5'3", dude.
Well, I wore a 13 because of Dan Marino all through high school because Dan Marino was fantastic in Ace Ventura. I think we all can agree there. Great actor. Maybe the best of his generation.
13 on a running back.
And then, obviously, got asked to wear 18, so I changed to 18.
Yeah, 18 doesn't really work either, but it's just the context.
Works
you
for
made
me.
It work. I was
Dude,
about to say, you made
what's
it
a
work.
better number, 18 or 53?
Look at that. I mean,
T-Bob.
Danny, could we full screen that?
This is not even that in full screen looks pretty
This
big.
is the ideal male body. Even look down at the genital pouch underneath my gut. Like, you will never see a better male body than what is on your screen right now. Why they lined me up like Piper
T-Bob.
Perry in that meme picture, I have
Poll
no
question
idea.
of the day, 18 or 53, which is a better number?
Yeah, do it.
Off the bench with Hester
I wonder
and
what they'll
T-Bob.
answer. I wonder what the LSU fan base will say. And whatever they say, I'm going to tell them to go to Ochsner.org today, okay? I don't care if you're on the North Shore, you're in Baton Rouge, you're in New Orleans. Ochsner has your back. They got the best doctors staffed in the best facilities. I am not exaggerating. Go check out the Grove in Baton Rouge Fair to have your mind blown. Or no matter where you're at. Now, what about Ochsner performance training, right? It's not just all about injuries and recovering from injuries, though obviously there's nowhere better you want to go. But what if you want to get bigger, stronger, faster, right? You're in junior high, you're in high school, maybe you're an ancient athlete. You want to train in the same way with the latest, most cutting-edge techniques that the pros use, that college athletes use. You want to check out OPT, Ochsner Performance Training. It's also a sneaky good deal on getting in shape as well. But again, the bottom line, if you have any nagging issues, don't let them go too extreme. If you're here in Baton Rouge, go see my guy, Dr. Burnham. Let them get that quality of life back for you. Go to Ochsner.org today.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, June 8th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 90. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Coming up on OTB OT, Nick Underhill joins the show at 9:30 to talk Saints. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on Cox Sports Television. OTB OT starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up, y'all? OTBOT, T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Danny hanging out with you. I have too much muscle memory in saying Musso there.
Dude, you were you had the U out of your mouth and changed it to Mario. That's actually a really nice job.
Yeah, I had to catch it.
We were talking a lot of baseball. That's his new co-host as well. I get it.
Again, it's going to be a great day for Middle Relief. So listen to Middle Relief today, noon to 3. It's going to be awesome. Musso and Mario holding it down. A lot of people talking about the balk. I do kind of agree with this Bunky Perkins tweet last night, where he was like, I was yelling balk, even though I don't really have any idea what that is. Like, I've never really understood what a balk is, but like, I too, like, the more he threw it over to first, I just kept yelling it because I thought surely he's doing something wrong. But what I did read is that you cannot throw to an unoccupied base.
And you can't start to the mound.
I knew that. I kind of knew that. You can't like start towards the plate and then turn, right? But
yeah.
So when the first baseman crashed because they were expecting the squeeze, well, then he was unoccupied. It was an unoccupied base. And the pitcher is just in. You can see, too, the pitcher, he goes to throw it. It's like a quarterback when they know they're about to throw a pick, and they pull that little hitch, and then they still have to go with it.
They had no game plan. They were not ready, and Thompson squared around, obviously, for what looked like a safety squeeze. Didn't look like a suicide squeeze, but then he pulls back. It's a ball, and then they were terrified. They had no plan and to try to stop whatever LSU was trying to do. And my man Beloso was like sitting on the base. He didn't have a lead, and they were throwing over. And he was like, at one point,
he had like 2 feet on the base.
He's like, what are you doing? Like, I realize that every one of y'all thinks that we are Deion Sanders out here, and we're going to steal every base as much as y'all thrown over here to first base. I get that, but
classic early morning radio show guy. Saw you getting a little upset at Oregon last night. Like, hey, we got to wake up. And y'all are over here trying to pick people off for like 40 times in a row. I mean, it did become comedic in that particular exchange. Like, they did it a lot all night, but I mean, right there, you could have like put some Benny Hill music behind it or something. It was really weird. What I'm still not understanding.
Bilbo, you can start your pitch and throw it to the base. You can't go towards home plate, though, is what we're saying. That's what we're talking about. Yes, you can lift your leg up and go straight to first if you're a lefty. Obviously, if you're a right-hander, you step off.
So what was the advantage of holding Beloso there, though? That's what I can't figure out. I mean, do you really care that? I mean, I guess you obviously don't want him to advance to second for free, but like
right
on the bunt, you're not throwing to second anyway, no matter what, right? Like
right. So
the play's going
for
home
me,
no matter
because
what.
of
They wanted to see if he was going to bunt. That's what it was.
They did, yeah. That's why they were throwing over. They wanted to see if he'd square, and they kept throwing over to first.
That's right. That's right.
But also,
Smart.
I mean, like after a while, like you're right. Like you're holding on below. So like normally, like the first baseman will be ready to play the bunt there because the go-ahead run was at third. So it was a very head-scratching situation and very head-scratching method that the Oregon coaching staff laid out there because they confused their own players.
I do agree with Bjorn Ironside, which is a great chat name, that the picture that Danny showed at the end of last hour, that should be the Joe Moore Award trophy. Like, that's what it should be modeled after right there. If it was, it would be the most electric trophy in the country. Instead, we're left to just 5 guys lined up very boringly, as they would be in a game.
T-Bob, that's one of the worst pictures I've ever seen.
That's funny. We may not have the same understanding of the human language.
That's a bad picture.
By worst, do you mean best?
No, I don't.
Well,
it's not like one of those. Man, that's pretty bad.
Look,
that's not that.
Yeah, it is. Look, my body, it was at the time, it was so sensual. I mean, every part of it, top to bottom, just filled with sensual curves.
A little top heavy.
Yeah, man.
Top heavy.
You gotta be, dude. Right? Playing.
Look, I'm not here to body shame. It has nothing to do with the body. It's just your eyes. It looks like you had a couple cold pops before the photo shoot.
Look a little stoned for sure, which I was not doing in college. So was not the case.
The eye black that's completely off centered. And why do you have eye black on? There's not a sun out in this room.
Well, I mean, ideally, I would have painted my face like I got to paint it for the game, but instead, we just ended up with those stupid little strips.
Yeah, it's not a great look.
I'm gonna agree to disagree here. I think it's, like I said, a beautifully curvy body, and if you're into that sort of thing, well, there you go. You should have talked to me a few years ago. Emil McClellan asking a question about Brad Davis. He says, my question about Davis, and that's the new O-line coach, and future O-line coaches is, will LSU be able to go into the Midwest and pull prospects that would typically go to a Big Ten power? And this is relevant because LSU is a believer in analytics. They're a believer in trends, and they have run the data, and they have figured out, which regions of the country produce players at which positions that make it in the NFL for the longest time, right? And obviously, Louisiana's rife with your skill positions and your athletes. What we don't have are offensive linemen. You know who produces the O-linemen that make it in the NFL longest? The Midwest does. So that's the question. Can Brad Davis, even though he's got all these southern roots, can he go into Michigan and Ohio and all of these other states? I'm not going to say anymore because you know me in geography. But can he go into that region of the country?
I was proud of you.
Yeah. Can he go into that region of the country, though, do you think, and snag guys?
He's got a history of coaching at Mizzou, so you know those relationships were built. Obviously, Arkansas is in the northern part of Arkansas, so I'm sure that he has gone to schools and has relationships that not a lot of LSU coaches have had in the past. And Bradford being from Michigan, LSU's had some Michigan guys that have come down. I mean, Barksdale, our guy, he obviously was a Michigan guy. Dillinger,
you mentioned Anthony Bradford, I think, but I think he's going to be a big member of this team. That's a Michigan guy that Craig went and got.
Yeah, and Dillinger is a guy from Michigan that Craig went and got as well. So there's a Michigan, I don't want to say pipelines, a handful of guys, but you've had success there. But again, coaching at Mizzou, I'm sure that he has been to some places that, in Indiana and Illinois that you just haven't been before. So it can't hurt that he has that experience. It's definitely something they have to get better at because it is what it is. Like you mentioned it, Louisiana has a lot of skill players. They don't have offensive linemen. Sometimes they don't have quarterbacks. Now that narrative has changed. They've had a really good run.
They got a lot
since 2014, they've had a really good run on quarterbacks. But you've got to go elsewhere. The state of Texas is somewhere that it's so difficult to recruit Texas because there's so many people trying to win Texas.
Yeah.
That you want to go there because it's your neighboring state, but you might have to get a little bit more creative. LSU's obviously had success in Ohio. I know Burrow didn't start here, but Burrow, your Spencer Wares, Corey Kiner. So you've had some success there because you've got to look elsewhere for offensive linemen. It's just like Will Campbell's in Louisiana, they don't happen.
Yeah, the Texas thing is kind of a dangerous game.
It
for
is.
sure, because the payoff is potentially huge. But as you said, the ability to waste resources is also pretty massive. So I guess it's not so different from the Midwest. Because, I mean, you're trying to get people down here to Baton Rouge, and you're going to be competing with, Ohio State and Michigan and these powers that these cats grew up on. Now, Nebraska's not that anymore like they would have been back in the day.
I guess Texas is just, you have so many.
There's more hands in the pot. There's a lot of cooks.
Yeah, you have not just like one school. Like when you go to Michigan, like no disrespect to Michigan State, but you're fighting mostly against Michigan and Texas. It's TCU, Baylor, Texas A&M, all right there.
And then like Alabama and
right,
obviously
and Oklahoma being a neighboring state coming down, and they take a lot of players
Texas,
from Texas. So,
so we'll see. Emil, I don't know that I have any great answer on like if Brad Davis will be able to go to the Midwest. What I do know is that LSU recognizes the value of offensive linemen out of the Midwest and does want to improve in that area. And the other thing I do know is one of the main advantages of Brad Davis and why we're calling him upgrade over Craig is supposedly on the recruiting trail. So if anybody could do it, you would think that Brad Davis would be well positioned to do so. I definitely do. Somebody's asked about a meetup this weekend. I definitely do. We'll start to plan some sort of party for this weekend because I think we have to. It's going to be fantastic.
We were supposed to have one for the U.S.-Mexico game. Didn't have that. Danny was scared. But maybe we can get something together for this.
I agree with Bilbo here. He says, hey, guys, stop insulting T-Bob's hands. If you drop your phone between your seats while driving, he will easily pull it out for you. That is actually true.
But our hands are big enough not to drop the phone out of our hands.
No.
So that would only be you with the slippage.
No, you're big and unwieldy and clumsy. And those, why does the term fat-fingered?
If it moves around in my hand, I can just regrip.
When you drop something and it's called fat fingering it, there's a reason why that exists. It's
means something different where I'm from.
There's grotesque sausages that you have attached to your hands. They're horrifying, quite frankly. All right, when we get back. Oh, yes?
Real quick, I don't want to spend a full segment on this, but before we go to break, a lot of people hitting the panic button because Arch Manning, his Clemson video obviously is all over Twitter and social media, and he was at the Clemson camp and not the LSU camp. This is going to be something, T-Bob, that we probably spend way too much time on talking about the recruitment of Arch Manning, who's only going to be a junior, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. But I mean, look, it's easy to see why. It's how incredible he looks. I love the ball flip in between the pump fake and the throw. Eli had a tweet go viral just by saying I taught him that, which is like so classic, super boring, but because it's Eli, it plays so well. But yeah, no, look, he's an incredible talent. The thing is, though, LSU has some pretty incredible talent lined up, and I mean, there's guys like Eli Holstein even down the road in that same class who are now. He's got an Ohio State offer, which is crazy to see the quarterback offer from Ohio State out of Louisiana. So whether you get Manning or not, also don't read into any of this. He's going to SMU for a visit, right? You think SMU has a better chance than LSU of making this thing happen? It's wide open. Jeff Duncan told you it a couple weeks ago.
SMU's getting one?
Yeah, I think SMU. I think he's going for official maybe this weekend or something. I can't remember exactly when, but he's open, and he's going to go over. I do think most likely it's probably like Clemson or Texas. Clemson comes with you're just going to be markedly better than everybody you play. You can pretty much guarantee at this point that you'll make the playoffs and play for natties. And if you're Texas, rich kids love Texas. There's just no way around it. Like
rich kids love Texas.
Is that not true?
I mean, know.
Look at Austin undergrads. It is the frattiest of the frat, the wealthiest of the wealthy in terms of who's going to Austin, and it's like a hip city, a cool city. Yeah, Texas has its appeal, and if you end up being really good, then you're like the savior, right? Sam Ehlinger got so much love for going 9-4 and winning a Sugar Bowl. So
Kellen Mond got a lot of love too.
Where at A&M?
At A&M.
Yeah.
I mean, being from Texas.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm just talking about, though, specifically if you go to University of Texas, to UT.
See, I thought you meant the state when you said the rich kid thing. I was like,
no,
no,
my bad. I'm talking about UT.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, that's expensive school, right? And the cost of living in Austin is crazy. So I wouldn't shock me at all. All right. But I don't think LSU's out of anything. We'll see down the road. All right, when we get back here on what they need to do, I keep interrupting myself. What they need to do, though, is they have to prove that the Joe Burrow thing wasn't a flash in the pan. It's why this year.
Look, they
the offense was
proved
good last year.
I mean, to play that many freshman quarterbacks, and the guy that was the veteran was basically a freshman because he'd never been a starter, and all of them had some level of success. Like, that was impressive.
I'm just talking about how Alabama's gone from, like, Blake Sims putting up crazy numbers, which is really weird to think about, to then I can't remember who bridged the gap in between, right? But then,
Coker?
And Coker actually put up good numbers, and then you had Tua Tagovailoa, and that was supposed to be like, oh, my God, this is a whole nother level. Surely nobody can match this. And then Mac Jones comes out and matches it right away. And now they think the new cat's going to. So, like, I'm talking about having that, that kind of elite success on a year in and year out basis. And we'll see this year. They got all the pieces to do it. They just have to go make it happen now. All right, we still got Nick Underhill coming up a bit later at 9:30. And speaking of rich people, we got a Rich Get Richer story for you. On the other side of this, keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
OTB, OT.
Go to GEAUXroof.com, GEAUXroof.com. For all your roofing needs, man. There's a reason why Go Roof spells it GEAUX. They're from the community, okay? That means they go the extra mile for the community. They just want to make sure that your roofing needs are taken care of. That's why they offer a free professional estimate. They're not trying to just squeeze money out of you up front or any BS like that. Right? They commit time to coming out to your home, seeing exactly what the problem is, letting you know, and then you make a fully informed decision. If it's a big job and insurance covers it, great. If not, whatever the price is, if you need monthly payment options, they can find a way to make it work for you. Because, again, all they care about is that your roof gets fixed. They're licensed, bond insured, and they stand by their work. A 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. So what are you waiting for? Any roofing needs that you have. 927-8300, 927-8300. Say GoRoof.com. That's GEAUXroof.com. Again, call 927-8300 and hit them with the roofs.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana Products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales,
join us for a Tuesday edition of Middle Relief with Mario Jerez and Matt Musso. We recap LSU and Oregon Part 2 in the Eugene Regional Final, break down the latest in the NFL and college football, and more. Tune in from 12 to 3 p.m. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I guess so. Now there's a conversation going on in the chat about which Texas school would you have gone to?
Would you have chose if you had your choice of Texas-only schools? I know I was committed to Texas at one time, but I don't think I'm choosing Texas here.
I would choose you.
Yeah, you're a rich kid. We get that.
That's what I said.
I'm not going to Texas A&M. I'm just not doing that. I'm not practicing the cheers
I
before
like
the
that,
games.
though,
No, I don't.
I like all
that's
the
lame.
yell leader stuff. I like the practice.
Oh, you like the yell leader stuff? Yeah, we're completely opposite.
The pageantry of college football is what makes it so
that's
fantastic.
Great. Yeah, not that type.
And something that weird and unique is so unique to the game of college football. And the environment at Kyle Field is so fantastic. Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, bro.
Look.
Hell yeah, bro.
I'm not hating, but I am. I'm out. Honestly, this might be a little surprising. I think if I had my choice as far as like what fits my personality, I think I can go on guns up, Texas Tech. Yeah.
Offensive player for sure.
Yeah. Offensive player. Actually, Lubbock, when you're just in the town of Lubbock, not so bad.
You can have fun anywhere you go. You can have
not
fun
a lot of
anywhere
things
you
on the outside, but I took a visit to Texas Tech. It was outside of LSU. It's probably my favorite place.
Look, you can have fun anywhere you go, right? Absolutely.
TCU's got a little bit of something that just doesn't vibe with me.
They're a little.
SMU's got too much money.
I went to like a private Christian high school, and TCU just I feel like has too many of those vibes. Outside looking in, Baylor probably falls into that category as well. Think about that. I just can't choose Lubbock over Austin. I guess I'm just too much of a hipster.
You are, which is fine.
Yeah, no,
there's not a wrong answer. All right, boys
myself.
from behind the desk, which Texas school are you choosing?
I know where Danny's going. He's joining me.
Yeah, for sure. I actually don't know. I shouldn't.
Danny, where are you going?
UT.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't want to just assume. All right, Mario, where are you going?
I think I'm gonna go Baylor. Waco seems pretty nice. I know a couple people that go there. Got some stuff to do in the town.
You and Chip and Joanna, the whole crew.
Go Bears. Shout out Ryan Miller's brother.
Emil, fullbacks don't exist in Lubbock. I was a running back here. Maybe you missed those last 2 years, Emil. Actually, I was a leading rusher 2 years in a row there,
How many
T-Bob.
balls did you catch?
35 my junior year.
Oh, that's a lot of balls. I had no idea
To
you were that
catch.
good. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
It is weird, though. Like
I stand corrected.
But I'll take the fullback tag. But actually, Emil, Texas Tech offered me to play slot receiver at the time.
Yeah. Well,
Glad I didn't choose that.
Who doesn't love a tiny white guy playing slot receiver?
Like
That's,
Texas Tech.
Yeah, that's just beautiful. That is football at its finest, right there.
Jake, would you have gotten a Texas Tech tattoo?
No, probably not.
Guns up. Danny with the subtle shot there.
Yeah, he'll pay for that one.
Okay, what about this? I can't remember. I can't remember who was in the chat.
Remember,
so I apologize.
Mario knows Danny's going to pay for that.
Yeah. You gave Mario the cold shoulder for a little bit with his Texas foibles.
No, I said Texas Tech.
No,
I didn't say
no,
Texas.
Danny. I saw the quick picture there.
Danny, we know your trollish instincts.
You'll pay for that one, Chief.
We know it's like Dennis says. It's the implication. We know what you were implying there.
Oh, he had a picture. You just didn't see it. It was quick. It was a quick flash.
Wow, you did like a Fight Club, like Tyler Durden, like splicing it in between frames type of deal, Danny.
I don't know. We'll have to look back at the tape.
Your troll
It's
levels
right there
are
on the
evolving.
on the thing now.
I'm very proud of you.
Evolving. He's the best troll in the show. He's gonna pay for it, but he's the best on the show.
That's true. That is true.
It's all about content.
Yes. There we go, Danny. I agree. So somebody was mentioning in the chat earlier, talking about Alex Milazzo and what a black hole he's been offensively in the lineup. And that is certainly true. But I find it a bit interesting to bring that up. And it was Bayou being 84. I find that a bit interesting to bring that up on a night where he ended multiple innings throwing guys out, right? Like if you needed justification why Alex Milazzo's in the lineup, just go watch yesterday's games. I get that he himself represents a walking out, but it is what it is. I am now firmly in the Milazzo camp. I've been beyond convinced that you just have to have him on the field.
Look, I would love to still have a healthy Hayden Travinski to be able to pinch hit and to be able to provide a spark if you needed it with the bat. Say he comes in for a pinch hit in the 8th inning and then he catches the 9th. But you do have to give Milazzo his credit. And I don't know when. I'd say it's probably changed in the early 2000s when you started to expect more as far as what you got at the plate from a catcher. But when we were growing up, I mean, the catcher always batted 8th in the National League, and he was always batting about 230, but he was really good defensively, and that's what it was.
Is that just because catcher like pitcher is such a unique skill set that's just where you have to commit all your time? Like I always wondered why that was.
Yeah, I mean, then you started to see some guys like Brian McCann, Buster Posey, and they really started to change that narrative where you wanted to. Javi Lopez, great. Pudge was a great two-way. Like Pudge had both. You didn't have that very often. Like a guy like Charles Johnson was a guy that was a defensively minded catcher, and he was an all-star because he was so good behind the plate. Yeah, Piazza was up there because he was going to hit the baseball, right? So that's kind of come in vogue over the last 2 decades. But it used to be, look, this is what it is. Your catcher's going to bat before your pitcher. There might be 2 quick outs in there in the lineup, but you're going to get a spectacular guy behind the plate.
Yeah, just on balance, Milazzo's value defensively definitely outweighed the offensive struggles.
And having a guy like
Oregon kept testing him.
They did, which was dumb.
I didn't understand it.
Have a scouting report one
Even
time,
like a
Oregon.
couple times where it worked out, like when was it when there was no real – in one of the innings, they ended up scoring it, but there was no real advantage advancing the runner to second. All they did was risk ending the inning, and they got away with it, but it was just such a pointless risk, and they kept putting their hands in the fire.
Something else that you have to respect, Milazzo, is his pitchers trust him. In a game like last night, when you've got the tying run on third base, Marceau was still throwing breaking balls into the dirt. Yep. And he knew he had that ability because he knew that Milazzo, unlike their catcher, who, look, his backup, I feel sorry, he kept throwing that spot, but it is what it is. He trusted his catcher. He knew he was going to block those pitches, and that helps the psyche of the pitchers so much. And look, earlier in the year, I wanted Hayden Travinski to be in the lineup because he was hitting tanks, and you're trying to figure out what that position looked like. Milazzo deserves to be back there. It is what it is at the plate, but he saves you runs behind the plate.
Yeah, so Milazzo, great job last night. Something else we were talking about during the break, Emil was mentioned in the Arch highlight, the guy he's throwing to is DJ Ugalele's younger brother, who is the 5-star quarterback for Clemson, right? And his younger brother is now a 5-star receiver, and that dude's massive. He's like 6'5", 250, running a go route there. But you know who else looks massive and was unguardable this last weekend? Jake Johnson, Max Johnson's little brother. If there was, look, certainly tight end is a huge position of concern going into this season. But in Jake Johnson, who is committed to LSU, it looks like that a year after, you could be talking about a guy that could immediately come on and from day one help win you football games.
Yeah, he actually, this is no disrespect to Max. Like when you see him side by side, I think he looks like the older brother.
Yeah.
And I told the story a couple of weeks ago, like LSU wanted Max Johnson very, very badly. They did. But it was the year when former players could start to talk to the recruits. Like if they were on a recruiting visit, used to you couldn't have any conversation, but you could. And I've told the story before. And I remember being like, they're like, hey, go say what's up to Max, but make sure you say what's up to his little brother as well. Like he's over there too. And he was, gosh, I think he was a freshman.
I mean,
because I think Max was a junior.
I just want to say what's up to Brad.
I did enjoy that as well.
Big bad Brad on top of loving him growing up because I like that Tampa Bay team. I was a front runner as a kid. I like all the Super Bowl teams.
Falcons, Tampa Bay.
Green Bay. Loved Green Bay in 96. Loved Elway after I read the Monday Night Football quarterback club books, and then they won back-to-back. Love Tampa because of Mike Allstott. So, yeah, I was a big fan on it.
I can't hate on that. I mean, we have a Mike Allstott bobblehead.
Mike Allstott, I wish one day we'll interview Mike Allstott and we'll wear fake goatees while we're doing it. But no,
I'll cut mine into a goatee if we get Mike on the show.
Brad's social media is fantastic right now. Also, he looks exactly like Kurt Russell. Can't really wrap my head around
Look at that route right there.
All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's talk to Nick Underhill of New Orleans.football about the New Orleans Saints. Drake Kirkpatrick in town. What does it mean? Have they found their answer? Is he out of town without a deal? Let's talk to Nick all about it next here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to therelaxationcompany.org, therelaxationcompany.org. Today, we keep talking about that. They're at Pelican Point in Gonzales. If you are looking for a massage to relax your mind, body, and spirit, you're not going to find anywhere better than the Relaxation Company. Go online and get like a full idea of what they can offer. A ton of different massages. They just hired a new esthetician to do facials as well. There's great facial deals going on right now, Gabrielle. But look, I love it because it's family owned. It's locally owned. It's a culmination of a live stream, Jake, when you're talking about Jennifer DeLotte being a licensed therapist for 18 years now and finally getting a place of her own.
There's so much pride in the work that they do in this family-owned company because, like, when you're there, like, you're going to get customer service. When you walk out, they want to make sure that you had a good experience. Like, you're going to get the best customer service. Check out therelaxationcompany.org for a full list of services, which T-Bob said is literally everything. Yep. Check them out, 225-725-4239.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Summertime when the fishing's easy. At least it will be if you go get your marine electronics from Front to Back Boat Service. That's right. It is time to take your boat to a new level. You want brand new troll motors. You want cameras you can see the fish under the water in HD before you even cast. You want brand new speakers for that thing. You want Front to Back Boat Service. Go to fronttobackboatservice.com. Find them on Facebook, 225-928-9644. They do it all. That's why it's Front to Back Boat Service.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We're recapping LSU, Oregon, and the latest on the LSU baseball coaching search. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB OT. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Danny hanging out with you today. Listen, Middle Relief with Mario Musso coming up noon to 3. But right now, let's go to the phone lines. We got our guy Nick Underhill at Nick_Underhill on Twitter. Go to neworleans.football. If you are a Saints fan, go to neworleans.football and sign up for the site. Support Nick's work directly while getting the best insight, I believe, into the Saints that you can. Nick, what's happening, man?
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. So the kind of big Saints story of the day that we've been talking about is the Dre Kirkpatrick visit. Now, I guess I'll start here. Generally with these visits, right, it's like if a guy leaves town, he's not coming back. Where do things stand post-visit with Kirkpatrick? Is he maybe the answer opposite of Marshawn Lattimore for this year?
So I think he came in late yesterday. He might be meeting today, actually. So
Okay,
I'm not
cool.
sure if the actual meeting is actually occurred yet. You know, as far as him being the answer opposite Marshawn Lattimore, I mean, I think he's an option opposite Lattimore. I don't know if I'd call him an answer at this point. I think his play's been a little bit sporadic throughout his career. He hasn't been the greatest in press, and the Saints play about 60% press looks. He did play really well in zone cover 4 looks, and cover 4 is a primary coverage for the Saints. You know, when he plays off in those looks, he did a pretty good job in Arizona and Cincinnati previously before that. So I don't know if the Saints could, switch up their scheme a little bit and kind of maybe play, him off on one side, Lattimore press on the other. There's probably ways to get both guys into advantageous looks for themselves and have the scheme succeed like that. But look, I think they just need to have guys in the building, have options, create competition. At this point, I'm not sure if you're going to find a surefire answer when you only have $348,000 in available cap space. You know, that's a moderate Metairie house. Like, you aren't getting an elite cornerback here for that kind of money. So, they could sign a guy to a league minimum deal, get the veteran salary benefit, and it'd really be a 1-for-1 swap. They'd be able to take the last guy off the salary list, the 51st guy, who is at $780,000. So they could bring this guy in at the league minimum, and it actually wouldn't cost them anything on the cap. But if you're going above, it's $1 million and some change, and that's what you get. You get a guy that might be okay. Maybe you catch lightning in a bottle and things take off. But I do think even if they brought him in, if they're able to work an extension out for Ryan Ramczyk, which is something they're currently working on, I think maybe at that point you look and say, hey, is Garyon Conley available? Hey, Richard Sherman, I know you want to win a Super Bowl, but maybe this situation is right for you. Check it out. And maybe at that point you bring in somebody else. But I think right now, if you can get somebody, you got to get them.
Yeah, Nick, one of the things that helps when you are looking for a DB is to take away one of the best receivers in the division. That's Julio Jones going to the Titans. And so when you start to look at, the weapons outside of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I mean, the Saints roster still holds up to me to be, as far as talent, still the second best roster in the South.
Yeah, I agree with that. And getting him out of there, man, that was a weird move for them to trade him after taking Pitts. I thought when they took Pitts, they were setting up to try to get Matt Ryan back into the playoffs. And look, I mean, I thought their weapons, like, they were as scary as anybody's with him, Ridley, and Pitts. Then you trade Julio, and I think for a second-round pick, I think that's fine compensation considering they got that much cap money off the books, and that was really what the move was about. But if you're trading Julio, like, just trade Matt Ryan and take a quarterback, unless they just really hated the available quarterbacks at that point. But I agree. I mean, I think that makes them easier to match up with. No, Ridley's been the guy that's kind of given them trouble over the last couple of years, maybe even more so than Julio. But I think that was more about, the number 2 corners on this team. And, there was that one game where Ridley just torched them in the first half, I think maybe 2 years ago, and then they moved Marshawn onto him and they shut him down a little bit better in the second half. So if you can do that in Marshawn, if that's one of the games he decides to show up for during the season, and that consistency is, such a major issue for him. But if he takes Ridley seriously when they play him, like he can cover him well, and I think that makes Atlanta a much more beatable team. So that definitely helped the team that has issues in the secondary right now getting Julio out of the division.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. In terms of like what it signals from Atlanta, they're in some sort of weird pseudo rebuild where it seems like if you're going to go this route, move on from Ryan as well. But I don't know. Do you like if Justin Fields ends up being good? Then does that blow up in Atlanta's face a bit for not going that full rebuild route?
Maybe a little bit. You know, I think Pitts is going to be really good, and you know, honestly, I felt like he was the best player in this draft. You know, if you're really doing true best player available, like for me, he would have been right up there. You know, at the very top of that list. But
that's true. You're right.
Quarterback is such a valuable position, and if you're going into this rebuild, and if you did have a good grade on one of these quarterbacks, what are the odds you're going to be picking up 4 again? You know, I mean, it might take a while until you get back into that spot, and even if you get back into that spot, we see how hard it is for these teams to draft quarterbacks even that high in the draft. And if you liked one and felt good about one and you passed on them knowing you were going to trade Julio Jones, it's just like a really weird purgatory to place yourself in, and you had a way out. And look, honestly, like the Saints would trade, if they could have a sure thing, if you tell them Fields was going to be good, they would much rather have Fields than be going through, you know, this offseason with maybe Jameis Winston, maybe Taysom Hill. It's just not a position where you want uncertainty. And if you thought somebody was an answer and passed, it's just a really weird move. So, you know, I don't know. I think Pitts is going to be really good, but if these other quarterbacks end up good, I think there is going to be some regret probably very quickly. Because, you know, I don't think Matt Ryan's going to be one of these guys that plays until he's 45. I think we're already seeing a little bit of decline in him over the years, really since that MVP season. So, I don't know. It's just a weird way to build the team. And if you knew it and you made that trade and passed on the QB, it's just a very weird thing to do.
Nick, what would you do? And this is the biggest story in the NFL right now. But what would you do with Aaron Rodgers if you were in charge in Green Bay?
Well, let me ask you this: what do you think his end game is?
Rodgers' end game, I think, is to get Gutekunst fired.
Yeah, I mean, but, like, it's weird to me that he's not even saying anything. Like, what do you, like, you're letting other people say some things, like Adam Schefter's out there reporting some stuff and other people are saying things for you, but he hasn't really said anything directly. Even the Kenny Mayne thing was a little bit revealing when he said that it was about the culture and, you know.
I took all of that to be a direct shot across the front office bow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if you're taking this hard stance, I think it's often much more effective to just come out and say something than let everybody else guess for you.
That's fair.
You know, it feels like, what is he doing? Like, it just feels like he's turning Green Bay fans against him just through the silence and not showing up. And I feel like you could curry a lot more favor just by maybe saying something, being like, hey, look, these people have mistreated me. Like, I feel like I've given everything to this organization. And I'm not saying they shouldn't have drafted Jordan Love, but maybe they could have told me that it was a possibility. And look, you know who Aaron Rodgers is if he's working for you. We know who Aaron Rodgers is just by seeing how he's interacted with people throughout his career. And he's a principled, emotional guy who seems somewhat vindictive. I think when this first started, everybody kind of felt like, well, this is going to be the guy that takes it all the way. Like, Russell Wilson doesn't have it in him. Aaron Rodgers would take it all the way. And for them to just kind of treat him like, you know, it doesn't matter, he'll deal with it. I just don't think that's him. And I think you have to know how to manage different personalities. And, you know, at this point, I wouldn't be shocked if he got traded, honestly. Like, I think he's actually going to not show up. And I think that he would take this as far as it needs to go. And, you know, I don't know. It just seems like a situation that's, if any of them are going to not have a resolution, this is the one. And I can see him not showing up going into training camp. And at some point, I think he gets to the point where they do have to trade him. I don't know how long you can just let him sit there and let this be a thing. But if he's not in their camp, like on August 10th or something, like, I don't think you can just keep riding it out. So if there's a chance of one of these guys getting traded, I definitely think it would be him.
It's a weird time in quarterbacks in the NFC and teams that made the playoffs in the NFC, like not knowing what Green Bay is going to do. Chicago is going to have a new starting quarterback. Washington is going to have a quarterback battle in training camp. The Saints are going to have one. When you look at Los Angeles now getting Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff going to Detroit. Now, Detroit's a long way from the playoffs, but there's been so much movement as far as not only quarterbacks everywhere in the NFC, but playoff teams are going to have a new quarterback or some uncertainty.
You forgot about Trubisky challenging Josh Allen for the starting job.
I said NFC.
Buffalo.
I said NFC. My bad. NFC, T-Bob, NFC.
Yeah, it's been a crazy offseason, and I think it could have even been even crazier if a couple of different things happened. But it does make it difficult to kind of gauge where things are going to be. And I think the teams that do have continuity, it does give them a little bit of an advantage, even though we're kind of assuming that some of these teams with turnover are going to be good. You assume the Rams will still be good. I assume the Saints will still be competitive and things will work out, but you never really do know. And, it's weird. Like, we're kind of entering like a little bit of a player empowerment era in the NFL, or it seems like the players are trying to enter a player empowerment era in the NFL, but I'm not necessarily sure that it actually works that way. It works in some situations. I mean, it's kind of hypocritical for me to say when Julio just kind of forced his way out of a situation with the $15 million cap hit. But typically these trades don't work the same way they do in the NBA. And, I think the Tom Brady situation kind of had an effect on different quarterbacks, and I've seen different guys bring that up and just trying to get to different situations. But his situation was different. Like, he was a free agent, and the team he was with didn't want him back really. So he just went somewhere and kind of built his thing. But trying to force a trade like Russell Wilson, that's hard to do because trading contracts for guys is difficult because the guaranteed money, the signing bonus, that stays on your cap. Like, you can't just walk away from that. And a lot of teams can't afford those hits. And oftentimes it costs them more to get rid of a guy than to keep him, at least in the short term. So, yeah, I think we're going to see players try to force these situations more and more often. And I think that, some uncertainty this time of year and more changeover than what's been typical is probably going to become more of the norm. I just don't think it's going to ever go as far as the players would like it to go, just because the contracts don't work the same way in other sports.
Nick Underhill, Nick_Underhill on Twitter. Go to neworleans.football. Sign up for the best Saints site out there. Nick, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
All right, take it easy. All right, when we get back, let's wrap up the show. A little Ask the Bench brought to you by Cold Coors Light. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Summertime when the fishing's easy. At least it will be if you go get your marine electronics from Front to Back Boat Service. That's right. It is time to take your boat to a new level. You want brand new troll motors. You want cameras you can see the fish under the water in HD before you even cast. You want brand new speakers for that thing. You want Front to Back Boat Service. Go to fronttobackboatservice.com. Find them on Facebook, 225.
Join us for a Tuesday's edition of Jim Yacht's Game Time, presented by Bed Rivers, live from Doe's Eat Place from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We look back at LSU versus Oregon and continue our picks for the NBA playoffs. We got action. It's Game Time. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's happening, y'all? Hour number 3, closing up the show. It's over. Another day in the books, fellas.
We made it.
Tuesday done. On to Wednesday. Right now, it is time for a little Ask the Bench, brought to you by
Cold Cures Light, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet, and Vizzy Hard Seltzer. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Patrick Vine says, why wouldn't you just fire Gutekunst, though? His resume includes drafting Jordan Love and alienating your Hall of Fame QB. Even if A-Rod is a jerk crybaby, what helps your fans get wins?
The NFL is not going to allow the players to dictate anything to that nature. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Derek Smith asked, who do you guys think should be DH this weekend?
Hopefully you have a healthy Gio DiGiacomo and you're able to DH Zach Arnold. If not, you got to go matchups, and it's all the DH options are pretty lefty heavy, so I don't know. Not had a lot of success out of that position outside of when it's been Zach Arnold lately.
Maybe something for middle relief to answer later in the day. Mario?
I can give you the names and the stats. I'm talking options.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Does T-Bob pronounce Prague like massage?
Massage.
Prague. Massage.
Massage.
Gonzaga. Hashtag Ask the Bench.
Yeah, the Zags, not the Zogs.
Does Marceau or Labus go on Saturday?
You know, I wouldn't hate if you rolled out Labus there on Saturday and you had Marceau for Sunday.
What about you boys back there? What about you, Mario?
I'm pulling a Musso. What was the question again?
Wow. Okay.
Next.
Wow. Dude. Does Marceau or Labus go Saturday? What do you think?
I'm going to go Labus.
What about you, Danny boy? Do you care?
Labus.
You don't care. Sure. You're a liar. Alvin Marzwani and T-Bob, you continue watching Demon Slayer. I have, and it's awesome, boys. If you want a pretty good anime, I would say give Demon Slayer short episodes, 15, 20 minutes. Give it like 3 episodes. I'd say maybe 4. And if you're not into it by then, you're not going to care about it. But, dude, I think it's pretty tight. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Secret favorite sport?
Rugby.
That's
not
kind
a
of a
secret,
sport. I've been
though.
very into watching chess still, even though I'm not playing as much right now. I still love watching
is that
it.
a sport?
I don't know.
I think my like secret one that I don't talk a lot about, but I'll sit down every time it's on. I'm going to watch it. Is track, like track
Really?
and field. Like I really enjoy it. I can even watch the distance runners. Like I think that's very intriguing.
I did fall into a hole of watching slow motion Mondo Duplantis pole vaults yesterday, and that was pretty insane.
Yeah, I don't know if I have one.
Really?
A good answer.
Yeah.
What about you, Danny?
Rugby.
Yeah, I guess so. Not much of a secret.
I only watch rugby.
I really like curling. I do really, unironically, legitimately enjoy a great curling match. It's very fun.
They have
to
a
watch.
curling league up in the Port City.
Really?
They do.
How?
Because they have a minor league hockey team that has the ice.
Oh, that's right.
The Mudbugs.
Mudbugs. See, I was there. I was in the neighborhood. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Is cornhole now considered a sport?
It's played on ESPN.
Yeah, it's pretty competitive, so yeah.
You know what is also they're trying to make that happen with, but I find that when it reaches its highest competitive level, it completely breaks down is spike ball. Spike ball is very fun to play.
It is.
But when you watch these pro guys do it, nobody ever returns the first hit. They just it's a hard serve, and as long as you return the serve, you just smash it somewhere where the other person can't touch it. So I found that to be a little disappointing. As to mention, we confirmed that Happy bought the $99,000 BTS nugget. We know? Is that it? Happy would definitely order the BTS meal.
I would definitely know she won $99,000 though. I would have gotten a text.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. How much of your Dogecoin will you sell to buy all the LSU home field apparel? Sell all of it. I don't have any Doge. But, yeah, take all my money, home field. Well, I don't have to because I got it for free, unfortunately. It's like how Bob Kraft just got a Bentley from his friends, and it went viral like we're supposed to be, happy for Bob Kraft getting a blue Bentley. Bob Kraft, you have $5 billion, bro. Buy your own Bentley, you bum.
Yeah, bum.
Yeah, bum. Bill Baggins Overwatch League is also on ESPN, so therefore video games are sport. No, I think video games are sport. That's just me, though. Do you?
No.
Am I being a citizen bank poll question?
No, I am very stingy on what I call a sport.
Do you think NASCAR is a sport?
Absolutely, it is.
Okay. What does that mean?
Video games are fantastic. I just don't think they're a sport.
I disagree. That's it. We'll see you tomorrow here on
OTB, OT.